happened near the 6500 block of Sylvan Way Southwest in the High Point area of West Seattle. They are still investigating and have not released any details about the victim or potential suspects. We will bring that to you when we get it. A driver on I-5 was able to keep their hands on the wheel despite being shot in the back on Wednesday. This happened near the West Seattle Bridge. Investigators say this started when a car followed another car too closely and may have developed into a road rage incident. Here's KIRO 7 TV's Brandon Thompson.
They are still looking into everything that led up to the shooting here today in Seattle. So they're asking anybody who is driving along that stretch of I-5 before noon to reach out to them if they saw anything, especially if you saw a dark blue van.
Another gunshot victim was dropped off at Harborview at about the same time, but police do not have evidence to believe the incidents are related. Stealing cars, packages, and stuff out of someone's garage, all in a day's work for two thieves in Snoqualmie. Police say the crimes were all caught on Ring doorbell camera footage Monday. The pair prowled a car in the Ridge area and found a garage door opener in that car. Investigators say they promptly started taking stuff out of the garage. They left and came back to steal the Audi SUV inside. Other cameras showed them stealing packages. When officers caught up with them later that day, they were in a second stolen car, which had stolen license plates. They apparently confessed and gave up the location of the stolen Audi. Drivers and shoppers in Edmonds will see a small tax increase soon. The city council approved a 0.1% sales tax this week for street and sidewalk improvements. According to the Everett Herald, the city could start collecting in April. That means about $160,000 in 2026 and roughly $1 million a year starting in 2027. The money will help restore street maintenance staffing to 2024 levels, adding 3 positions. And here's a bipartisan idea we can all get behind.
Nothing is sweeter than going to the Super Bowl by beating the San Francisco 49ers on the way there, right? I agree on that.
That's Governor Bob Ferguson right before raising the 12th flag at the state capitol in Olympia. The east side just got a little cooler. Flatstick Pub is bringing mini golf and craft beer to Woodinville. The Seattle-based social house signed a lease in the Schoolhouse District. It's moving in the former Walla Walla Steak Company space on Northeast 175th Street. The company expects to open by the end of this year in the 12,000 square foot spot. It's pretty big. According to the Puget Sound Business Journal, Flatstick started in Kirkland in 2014 and now has several locations that we all get to enjoy. It's 5:13, and that's when we check traffic. And as expected, we are not seeing much activity around the region. Pretty much a speed limit drive. Tacoma to Seattle, 38 minutes. Everett to Seattle, 35 minutes. Auburn to Renton, 20 minutes. Bothell to Bellevue, 21 minutes. And Renton to Bellevue, 21 minutes. Let's keep that up today, Thursday light. And now a check on your weather. We are cloudy early. Possible sunshine expected late in the afternoon, a high of 50 degrees with some very light winds. We're going to have sun tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday. Lucky us with our next chance of rain. Not even in the forecast right now. It is 49 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. And coming up, we check in with our legal expert, former state attorney Rob McKenna, explains the case against Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell. This is KIRO Newsradio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This hour of Seattle's Morning News is brought to you by Closets by Design Seattle.
2 wins away from the Super Bowl.
It's time to eat, boys.
The first obstacle, a hated rival.
Purdy has time, throws in the middle, intercepted.
Victim to some of the greatest playoff moments in Seahawks history.
Welcome to the dark side. Richard Sherman tips it. Whole city going up like it's our time.
Seahawks, 49ers.
All teed up.
The divisional round of the NFL playoffs.
You know how we do it. Better bring your hard hat when you can illumine.
Saturday night, kickoff at 5 on the home of the Seahawks. KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Hey, it's John Curley with Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. Doc, I heard that 50% of Americans have their lenses replaced by the time they're 75.
That's exactly right, John. As we near 50, our eye's natural lens starts to become dysfunctional. If you've now added readers to your need for glasses and contacts, it's a sign the quality and function of your natural lens is fading, and it's a steady decline towards cataracts.
Don't go another 20 plus years with poor vision, hassling with contacts and readers. Do what I did. Choose a quick, painless refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE and start enjoying great vision now.
Our new lens technology is truly amazing. After replacing over 100,000 lenses, we have the experience to guide each patient to their best solution, even if that's recommending you wait a little while before RLE.
K2 Vision RLE can restore distance and near vision permanently, plus never develop a cataract. Read the reviews and schedule a free Zoom consultation now at k2visionrle.com.
Breast cancer is a tough battle for anyone to fight. But when you can't work, care for your kids, or even put food on the table, that diagnosis can be devastating. I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda, a plastic surgeon who is proud to support Northwest Hope and Healing. Our mission is to provide a lifeline for breast and gynecologic cancer patients. We cover essentials like food, utilities, and childcare, so patients can focus on healing. For more than 25 years, Northwest Hope and Healing has distributed over $3 million to thousands of local cancer patients, and you can help make a difference in our community. Join us on Saturday, January 31st, for Cork, Fork, and Support, an afternoon of fine wine, gourmet cuisine, and inspiration at Mary Hill Winery in the heart of Woodinville wine country. Get your tickets now for Cork, Fork, and Support on January 31st. Go to nwhopeandhealing.org to learn more. That's nwhopeandhealing.org.
How do you stay humble when you're America's #1 wiper blade? That's what we're currently dealing with at Rain-X. Is it even possible to humble brag when you bully Mother Nature like we do? Do we sound too conceited if we keep repeating how Rain-X is the #1 brand of wiper blades in America? No, we'll take a lesson from our wipers and just keep doing our job with humility. As America's #1 wiper blade. Rain-X. Outsmart the elements.
Progressive's accident response can detect and send help when you need it most, after a major car accident. But other accidents, you're on your own. Like when you accidentally call your wife Mom. When you accidentally say Happy Holidays on someone's birthday. When you accidentally wave at someone you thought was waving at you. We can't help with those accidents, but Progressive's accident response provides peace of mind after major car accidents. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Limited availability in California. Driver is responsible for emergency and towing charges not covered by the policy.
News matters. Experience counts. You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Well, good morning. We've been talking about this all week. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell announced over the weekend there is a criminal investigation into his testimony to the Senate Banking Committee back in the summer.
A lot of legal and economic implications to this. So let's call up former State Attorney General Rob McKenna for his analysis. Rob, let's start with just your initial reaction when you saw that video that Powell released.
Well, it's pretty stunning, isn't it? Because of the public pressure campaign the president's mounted on Chairman Powell, this investigation, looks like just another level of pressure that we've never seen before. And using allegations of congressional testimony and lying during testimony is a really strong measure here. So I wonder whether they're going to be able to come up with enough evidence even to present an indictment to a grand jury. It seems highly unlikely. The Fed has been pretty transparent about this massive renovation they're doing to their two buildings on Constitution Avenue in D.C. I've been by there. I've seen them. I mean, it really is. It's like they tore down everything behind the facades of the building to rebuild them. But these are 100-year-old buildings that have never been, massively renovated. And so nothing in those buildings is up to code now, and they've got asbestos and lead and so forth. So, the idea of going after him for, claiming that he didn't have, that he lied and didn't tell the truth about this project strikes me as a stretch, but it does put real pressure on him. And the odd thing is, too, he's finishing his term as chair in May. He'll be on the board of governors if he chooses to stay until 2028. But he's going to be out as chair of the Fed anyway when his term ends, because Trump's clearly not going to reappoint him. And we got one Republican senator who's so furious about this. He's saying, I'm just going to block any nominee to the Fed and any nominee to be chair of the Fed while these subpoenas are out there and this investigation is underway.
It's been thrown around that the economy is at stake with this prosecution. What would it mean for the Federal Reserve to no longer be an independent entity?
I think it would be very bad, to put it in the simplest terms. And that's why people like Senator Tillis of North Carolina, a Republican, a member of the Banking Committee, is so upset here. The independence of the Fed is a big part of what gives people confidence in its decision-making about setting the cost of money, right, interest rates. And, putting it under the thumb of any president. And look, as you guys know, as reporters, there have been a series of presidents who've pressured the Federal Reserve to try to get interest rates down because the economy is important to anyone's election or re-election, and interest rates are a big part of that. But no one's ever gone this far before, and it does risk the Fed's independence, so that in the future you might worry about interest rates being set for political reasons rather than based on sound economics.
Rob, I want to transition over to what the president had to say yesterday and maybe get some of your insight as a former statewide elected official. And that is the president saying he's going to cut off all federal funding to Washington State and to the city of Seattle, basically February 1st, because we remain sanctuary state and city. Can you give me just some insight what the preparations or the talks might be like behind the scenes in Olympia right now?
Well, they would be evaluating where the federal money is coming to, how is it being spent, and how losing that funding, would impact the state budget and local budgets. At the same time, while the president can no doubt stop some funding by executive order, funding that's provided by statute, I think would be a lot harder. So, it isn't clear to me that, for example, he'd be able to stop federal Medicaid funding in our state, which the state matches, because that's provided by statute. That, I'm guessing, would be the single largest item in the budget, though. If somehow the federal government were able to cut off Medicaid funding, that would be a huge impact to the state budget, assuming the state tried to replace that money. But again, that's provided by statute as opposed to discretionary spending for, example, transit and transportation projects.
So with, I think it's $28 billion total that came into the state last year from the federal government. It's still a lot of money when you consider what a big deficit we are facing, for sure. It's huge, Charlie. And you have to ask, why do we have such a big deficit putting aside the federal funding? And the budget has gone up from like $32 billion to $76 or $78 billion in 12 or 14 years, 50% faster than inflation and population growth. I mean, how the heck are they facing a deficit? And they just raised taxes over $9 billion last session. So that's puzzling. But the federal move here, if it happens, obviously does create a big hole for them. Well, former State Attorney General Rob McKenna, a lot we went over with you today. Always appreciate your time. We'll check in with you next week.
Good morning. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, and we are going to be mostly cloudy, but mostly dry today, warming up to about 50 degrees. Coming up, we hear from the UW doctoral student about some research into the impact of touchscreens in cars and how they could be making us unsafe on the roads. This is KIRO Newsradio.
The first few steps that I took in the morning were pretty painful.
This is Carlos.
I mean, I had been told by multiple orthopedic surgeons that there was no alternative for me.
That wasn't what he wanted to hear. You see, Carlos is an active guy.
I played basketball, and for 3 to 4 days after, my knees would just be so swollen. And now I can play basketball, and there is no swelling. There is no pain in the knees.
No swelling, no pain, because Carlos went to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I'm just happy to be able to be out there. And then knowing that tomorrow I am not going to suffer for this.
What do you say to your friends and family who are in pain?
I say, I had horrible knee pain, and stem cells really work for me. You might want to go to Dr. Wagner, just get a consultation before you have surgery.
Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
I'm worried.
About what?
Water.
Oh?
Hot water, if you really want to know.
Water heater worries?
Worried it's wearing down.
Running out?
The hot doesn't last like it used to.
So you're...
Worried.
I got a guaranteed fix.
Let me guess. A new water heater.
Right, but...
That's what worries me.
Well, worry no more.
Why?
What you need is an Apollo Plumbing water heater.
Because?
We include Wrenchy's worry-free warranty.
Wrenchy's what?
Worry-free warranty.
Which means?
When it wears out, we replace it.
No extra charge.
As an A-List Club member, you're covered for life.
For life?
For as long as you're an A-List member, you get annual life-extending water heater flushes included.
So it lasts longer.
Right.
And when it needs replacement,
you're covered.
With no worries.
Because it's Wrenchy's
worry-free warranty.
What else would you expect from the Ready Right Now plumbers?
Apollo Plumbing.
Home of Wrenchy's worry-free warranty.
What about tankless ones?
Worry-free too.
Gotta love that Wrenchy.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I got those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real, and I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Do you ever lose your balance or feel dizzy for no apparent reason? Do you hear ringing in your ears or have migraines? These are all signs you could have a problem with your inner ear or vestibular system. To learn more, call the Vestibular Disorders Helpline at 800-837-8428. That's 800-837-8428. Sponsored by the Vestibular Disorders Association.
Logan Fury did something smart. He saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With that money, he bought a mini treadmill. Is walking on it during video conference calls more distracting than he thought? Yes. And is that because he overestimated his foot-eye coordination? Definitely. But it's Logan's savings, and if he wants to burn calories and any chance at a promotion, we say, good for you, Logan. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars4Kids. Call 1-877-CARS4KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. KARS, Cars for Kids. 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and newnordicusa.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice. DayandNight.net. Day and Night gives you a free furnace or water heater with installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace or water heater from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. DayandNight.net.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM. Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Jillian Raftery. Protests in Minneapolis after another shooting involving ICE. This time, a man was shot in the leg. Department of Homeland Security officials say agents were stopping a car targeting an undocumented person from Venezuela. That person sped off, crashed into a car, and ran. When agents tried to arrest him, they say he fought back, and several other people ran out of an apartment building to join the fray. That's when one of the agents opened fire and hit that initial subject. And we are learning more about the shooting of Renee Good from her family's attorney, Tony Romanucci. Here's CBS News correspondent Lana Zach.
On Tuesday, 6 federal prosecutors stepped down amid pressure, sources say, to treat Good's killing as an assault on the ICE officer. Now the family is pursuing its own separate investigation.
The thought that there is only a one-sided investigation is really not palatable to the family, nor should it be to the government or the American people.
We've gotten word about a protest here in Seattle opposing ICE. Immigration advocates say they are gathering near the King County Airport at 9:30 a.m. A man shot by Border Patrol agents in Portland is now facing charges. Federal prosecutors say Luis Nino Moncado pleaded not guilty to aggravated assault and damaging federal property. His public defender entered the plea during a hearing yesterday in U.S. District Court. The FBI says there's no video of the shooting, which happened in a parking lot during an immigration stop. Agents say Nino Moncado and a passenger were in the country illegally and linked to a Venezuelan gang. A jury trial is set for March. And President Trump claims the killings in Iran have stopped. His comments come after days of nationwide demonstrations and a violent government response that left thousands dead. We are watching to see if the U.S. will intervene. That has been rumored and discussed by our Washington congressional delegation. It is 5:33, and that's when we check traffic. And we are still green all over the map. I'm not seeing any blocking issues at this point, and that's 38 minutes. Tacoma to Seattle. Everett to Seattle is 35 minutes at this point. Auburn to Renton, 20 minutes. Bothell to Bellevue, 21 minutes. Renton to Bellevue, 21 minutes. Checking your weather. We're going to be mostly dry today, and I'm seeing clouds lifting up. We're going to have a little bit of fog in some spotty areas, but I'm not seeing any outside our windows here in downtown Seattle. It's 49 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News. Seattle's morning news. Always live, always connected. Stream, watch, subscribe, and share at mynorthwest.com.
Well, Hock Tuan Kwong is a PhD student at the University of Washington Information School, and he's been digging into a question a lot of us have, those of us who have those touchscreen dashboards. Just how distracted are we, really?
Well, his team partnered with Toyota Research Institute to put people in a driving simulator and measured everything from eye movement to pupil dilation. And he is with us here on Seattle's Morning News. Thanks for being here.
Yep, thank you for having me today. So I'm really happy to share my result.
So, yeah, let's talk about those results because you found a lot of interesting things in this research. What's the big takeaway here?
Yeah, I think I can start with the motivation of my study. So touchscreen have become a control center of cars, but touch interaction often requires eyes on screen time. And at the same time, distracted driving is a still public safety issue. For example, U.S. government traffic safety materials report 3,000 deaths in 2023 involving distracted driving and an estimated 300,000 injuries. So our work helps explain how distraction happens and put numbers on the performance trade-off between driving and screen interaction.
Tell us about the actual research. I mentioned that you put people in driving simulators. How did you actually do the study?
Yeah, sure. So the goal was to quantify distraction with real numbers, not just opinion. So we measured how driving changes touchscreen performance and how touchscreen use changes driving stability and how different levels of mental business, which we call cognitive load, change the way drivers look and move. So in a driving simulator, people drove while tapping the targets on the touchscreen. And we also added a memory task to simulate my brain is already full moments. And we then measured driving stability, touchscreen performance, and where people looked.
And so I was going to ask, what is happening here is you found that people start reaching even before looking, and that causes all sorts of issues. Can you describe that?
Yeah, sure. So that is about the hand before eye phenomenon. So it means people started moving their hands toward the touchscreen before their eyes fully move to the screen. So think of it as my hand is guessing where to go while my eyes are still on the road. So we saw this in 62% of trials, even without any kind of secondary task. And it was around 71% in higher cognitive load condition.
I think it seems common sense that you would be distracted by a giant screen in your car, but is there anything about your research that surprised you?
Yeah, so I think I can categorize my main research finding into two different things. So when people were driving, touchscreen tapping efficiency, which we call throughput, dropped it by 58% compared to not driving situation. And when touchscreen interaction was added, driving became less stable. So lateral deviation from the lane center increases from 0.3 meter without touchscreen to 0.4 meter with touchscreen. So we can say both tasks got worse when you force them to happen at the same time.
Do you think dash screens are a good idea based on this research? Would we be safer without them?
So I would say, I don't want to say touchscreens are evil because the benefit from the touchscreen is very clear. We can show more information with greater flexibility. But this research is saying that just using touchscreen can be very risky in high cognitive load situations. So with better design ideas and with our quantified results, we can design more safer touchscreens, like adding some haptic feedbacks, or we can make some adjustable touchscreen that can adapt into drivers' real-time state. So yeah, those kind of ideas are possible. And actually that is connected with our next study. So please stay tuned for our group's study.
All right, hands on the wheel, people. That is Hoktun Huang with the UW Information School. Thank you so much for your time, and we look forward to talking at your next study.
Thank you so much.
Good morning. You're listening to KIRO News Radio. We're going to start with a few patches of fog. Then we're actually going to see some sun, and we've got sun in the forecast for the next 7 days. It is 49 degrees right now in downtown Seattle, and you're listening to KIRO News Radio.
The G and Ursula Show.
There's a brand new Gallup poll out that shows independents are actually now the biggest group in the country.
Weekdays 9 to noon.
Does this surprise you?
No, it's like a card trick. People in card tricks, the reason why you get fooled fooled is because you pay attention to what they say and you don't pay attention to what they do. Most people only start paying attention when elections, policies, and things start affecting you.
Subscribe to the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel and watch live.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Progressive knows life takes you in many directions.
Bear right at exit 32, then begin to wonder why you never bought a fish tank. In 1.3 miles, you'll realize you've been mispronouncing epitome your whole life. At the roundabout, you will remember you said something at dinner you wish you hadn't and will think about it for decades. You have arrived at your destination, but it turns out there really is no destination and life just keeps going.
Wherever life takes you, protect your home and auto with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Shelley Flace with today's tip for kids from the American Academy of Pediatrics. The nicotine in e-cigarettes is addictive and can harm brain development. That's why I worry about teens who try e-cigarettes. Many young people use pod-based e-cigarettes like Juul, which have high levels of nicotine. And because teens' brains are still developing, they can quickly become addicted. The tobacco industry uses fruit and candy flavors to attract young people, often turning them into lifelong users. For more, visit healthychildren.org.
When the new year hits, every business could use a little something to stay ahead. A lift, a jump start, an edge, or perhaps a boost. Like the all-new 5-year business boost from Comcast Business. It's the certainty of a price lock for 5 years on qualifying internet bundles. Plus, you'll have the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment, so your whole team can stay connected at a great rate. And to sweeten the deal, ask about a $500 prepaid card when you add 2 lines of mobile. It's the boost your business deserves. So sign up for the 5-year business boost and get a 5-year price lock on ultra-reliable Wi-Fi. Plus, ask about a $500 prepaid card. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 2/22/26, new customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees. Best Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
CBS News Brief. Tensions escalating in Minneapolis between protesters and federal agents after another shooting. Police Chief Brian O'Hara.
Preliminary information indicates that there was a struggle with a federal agent in front of the resident. During the struggle, the federal agent discharged his weapon, striking one adult male.
Officials tell CBS News an undocumented Venezuelan was wounded in the leg. President Trump backing off threats to take strong action against Iran if it puts protesters to death.
We've been told that the killing in Iran is stopping, and there's no plan for executions or executions.
A capsule carrying 4 International Space Station astronauts, one suffering from a medical issue, has splashed down off San Diego. CBS's Cami McCormick.
NASA has emphasized this is not an emergency, and the astronaut who has not been named is stable.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
We're going to stay dry today, actually, and you might even see the sun this afternoon as clouds dissipate. We're going to have even more sun on Friday and even more Saturday and Sunday. Highs stay in the low to mid 50s for the next few days. It's 49 degrees right now in downtown Seattle. Coming up, Jerry Cornfield with the Washington State Standard has your legislative update. This is KIRO News Radio.
You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Febreze. New Febreze Air Mist has 50% more odor fighters and up to 30% more fragrance than the old formula. So now you can take on 100% more stinky odors, like sweaty gym bags, greasy cooking smells, and the after effects of the dog rolling around in something. Just spray, and new Febreze Air instantly restores just clean freshness. Smell you later, odor. Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
I had pain, I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
For more than 50 years, the voice Seattle trusts. This is Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
Well, good Wednesday morning. It is 8:15. It's day 3 of the legislative session here in our state in Olympia, and there is already a lot to talk about.
So let's call up one of the top reporters on the legislature, Jerry Cornfield from the Washington State Standard. Jerry, thanks for being here with us today. Could you maybe talk about first what the governor had to say in his State of the State address yesterday and what stood out to you?
Well, good morning, and thanks for having me again. That's a tale of two Bob Fergusons, if you will. A year ago, he takes office, has an inauguration speech, and the Democrats, and that's his party, those lawmakers sat on their hands and were kind of grimaced when he spoke about his public safety, reform-minded agenda. And then yesterday, it was a different Bob Ferguson. I think he figured out, who he needs to speak to in that chamber, the majority party. So he touched on the issues they liked. They stood up, gave him, I think, 2 standing ovations for some of the things he said. That's 2 more than he received a year ago. The Republicans, on the other hand, some of them actually walked off the floor during the speech. They were not happy with his tone. I mean, he didn't break any news in terms of what he said on his agenda. Once again, he leaned into wanting an income tax on those who make more than $1 million a year. He criticized again the immigration and customs enforcement officers, their tactics, and strongly urged a bill that would ban them from using and wearing masks and shielding their identities. He wants that bill on his desk so he can sign it. Talked about putting money into housing and maintaining the transportation system. So in some ways, he was kind of moved back towards a more typical tax and spend message from a Democrat lawmaker.
Since you brought up the millionaires tax, that seems to be taking a lot of the room right now. What are lawmakers on both sides saying about the potential of a millionaires tax?
All right, so I want to start first at this tax, which would be, I assume, would be challenged in court and show up on the ballot. If and when it would take effect, would not bring in any money in the next couple of years. I think we talk about it so much, folks think it's going to happen and take effect right away. They're talking about 2029 before the first dollars would come in. Most Democrats are philosophically aligned with taxing the income of those who make a lot of more than $1 million. There will be some Democrats in the caucuses in the Senate and House who will not vote for it. And in terms of Republican lawmakers, I think it's pretty much unanimous opposition to going down that path. Not only is it a tax on an income that they consider illegal under state constitution and state laws, but they just say it's another tax, and then the money it brings in is already spent. If you listen to the governor and others, they have places they want to put it in, so it isn't going to solve any long-term problems or challenges for the state.
Well, in the short term, the state has a shortfall in the budget of billions of dollars this year. What are some of the proposals you're hearing that would address that this legislative session?
Well, it's worth noting, too, that was something the governor did not mention at all yesterday. There was no talk about a budget shortfall, no talk about the cuts and reductions in spending that he's proposing. But it's really kind of three pieces. He wants to take about $1 billion from the so-called rainy day fund, the emergency reserves. That's half of what's in there now. He wants to make a one-time big shift of nearly $600 million of Climate Commitment Act money. Those are the money from the selling of the pollution allowances. He wants to use that to fund the Working Families Tax Credit program through the end of this budget. So those are the two big pieces. He does have some across-the-board cuts, and some of those include 3% to the University of Washington and Washington State University, of course, other agencies. So that's kind of the three main pieces of what they say is $2.3 billion shortfall through the middle of 2027. Those three steps alone would deal with most of that.
Jerry, you briefly mentioned the bill that would limit when police officers can cover their faces when dealing with the public. This is getting a lot of buzz. What are you hearing about the discussions?
Well, the buzz yesterday, I had two hearings, one in the House version and one in the Senate. Thousands of people had signed up, not wanting to testify, but wanting to weigh in for and against that bill. The majority party of the Democrats, they do want to see it happen. I haven't counted any Republican votes yet or even heard Republicans stand up in support of the bill. But, I think the Democrats will move it. I think it will get to the governor's desk. How quickly? It's a 60-day session. It's the kind of thing it still might be, the last third of the session before it is passed and sent to the governor. As I understand, it would take effect July 1st. So there's no emergency clause. So if the voters or the folks really didn't want to see this happen, but Washington won't be the first state to try this and talk about this. And I suspect it will be signed into law and take effect.
Here we are. It's day 3. We're in the first week of the legislative session. Just give us an idea of the state of play, what you will be watching for over the next couple of days, maybe some bills that you have your eyes on.
Well, I just want to call out before we even talk about policy, the tone of this short session is going to be, I think, more contentious than past years, even though there's some big issues in past years. The House Speaker Lori Jenkins made comments on her opening day address that angered Republicans. They said they thought her tone was a little too sharp. It was really weighed in on opposition to what the Trump administration has been doing. And she doubled down yesterday at a press conference saying, that from now until the last day of session, that was going to be the tone that people hear and see and experience from the Democrats. So I do think there's going to be some difficult conversation like the face coverings bills. But, we are going to start to see the things trickle out people want to deal with. There'll be some tax bills that have been introduced yesterday involving cigarette tax. There's going to be some tweaks in past bills. So in terms of the really big ones, the face coverings grabbing the attention this week, and we'll have to see what grabs next week's attention.
Jerry, before I let you go, yesterday President Trump threatened to halt federal funding for sanctuary cities and sanctuary states. We here in Seattle, of course, are a sanctuary city. So is the state. What are you hearing in Olympia?
They've kind of, depending on who you talk to, Republicans have made a point of saying, look, we need to focus on what's happening in Washington state and not be obsessed with what's happening in the other Washington. And that's just the opposite of what the Democrats said. So nothing was being discussed openly, amongst in the hallways, if you will, of lawmakers. I think the governor is trying to, avoid some of that real public debate about it, because he's going to be making a request for millions, tens of millions of dollars of federal aid following December storms. So I think that they don't want to pick fights with the Trump administration on how and invite trouble into the sanctuary cities, if you will. But I think Washington, they have their law. We have the law here that tends to protect those cities and the state. So I think you'll see they'll be defensive about any attempts by the federal government to come in and take away money.
Well, certainly they'll be in session, too. If it's a February 1st deadline, they'll be in session. If any money is, for whatever reason, clawed back by the federal government, and, of course, lawsuits would be underway. Washington State Standards, Jerry Cornfield. Jerry, thanks for joining us. We'll be talking with you every week during this session. Really appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks. Take care.
I'm Jillian Raftery. You're listening to KIRO News Radio. Coming up in the next hour, more of the day's top headlines on Seattle's morning news. And our inbox is always open for your news tips and story ideas at mynorthwest.com. You can contact the show by texting us too at 888-973-5476. This is KIRO News Radio.
2 wins away from the Super Bowl.
It's time to eat, boys.
The first obstacle, a hated rival.
Purdy has time. Throws to the middle, intercepted.
Victim to some of the greatest playoff moments in Seahawks history.
Welcome to the dark side. Richard Sherman tips it. Whole city going up like it's our time.
Seahawks, 49ers.
All teed up.
The divisional round of the NFL playoffs.
You know how we do it. Better bring your hard hat when you cut a lumen.
Saturday night, kickoff at 5 on the home of the Seahawks. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
It's a fact. When your eyes work correctly, light focuses through both your cornea and your lens to give you high-quality vision. Hi, it's Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision. Here's another fact. As we near age 50, we begin to lose the quality and function of our natural lens. That's when we start to reach for reading glasses and contemplate those cataracts on the horizon, typically in our 70s or later, but inevitable if we get old enough. Fortunately, K2 Vision has the advanced permanent solution for both, refractive lens exchange, or RLE. K2 Vision RLE is a quick, painless procedure that restores distance and near vision permanently. Plus, another thing is permanent. You will never develop a cataract. After over 20 years replacing over 100,000 failing lenses, we will help you determine when it's your right time for RLE. Go to k2visionrle.com and schedule a free Zoom consultation today. K2 Vision RLE. No glasses, no contacts, no readers. Permanently.
For the news you trust.
Breaking news we are getting.
Experience matters.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo.
James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Good morning. I'm Heather Bosch.
Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
We're on YouTube, our app, and 97.3 FM.
Breast cancer is a tough battle for anyone to fight. But when you can't work, care for your kids, or even put food on the table, that diagnosis can be devastating. I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda, a plastic surgeon who is proud to support Northwest Hope and Healing. Our mission is to provide a lifeline for breast and gynecologic cancer patients. We cover essentials like food, utilities, and childcare, so patients can focus on healing. For more than 25 years, Northwest Hope and Healing has distributed over $3 million to thousands of local cancer patients, and you can help make a difference in our community. Join us on Saturday, January 31st, for Cork, Fork, and Support, an afternoon of fine wine, gourmet cuisine, and inspiration at Mary Hill Winery in the heart of Woodinville wine country. Get your tickets now for Cork, Fork, and Support on January 31st. Go to nwhopeandhealing.org to learn more. That's nwhopeandhealing.org.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo.
Your best source for local news.
Newly released police video shows the arrest of a 17-year-old.
KIRO News Radio.
Thank you, Dr. Wagner.
I have a really bad left hip. In fact, this other doctor's like, well, you're going to have to get a hip replacement. I was like, oh, my God. He goes, how old are you? I told him, well, you're going to have to wait a couple of years because we don't want you to wear the hip out. We want you and the hip to both go to heaven together. I was like, well, in the meantime, well, try stretching, aspirin. I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm in pain. I can't sleep. I could barely walk. I'd get off a plane and I'm like struggling to even make it down the ramp. I go to see Dr. Wagner. He explains to me how the stem cell procedure works. It's 90 minutes, and I'm telling you right now, I love it. So rather than surgery, make an appointment to see Dr. Wagner. It could be the game changer for you, like it's been for a whole bunch of other people as well. So whether it's your hip or your wrist or your shoulder, your knee, check out Dr. Mark Wagner. I'm telling you right now, stem cell procedure could be the answer for you, as it's been for me. You want to find out more? drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales event going on right now through January 25th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Pfizer.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. President Trump has just threatened to invoke the Insurrection Act, which would allow him to deploy troops to Minneapolis to end anti-ICE protests. It comes a day after a Venezuelan migrant was shot in the leg by an ICE agent during a traffic stop. Homeland Security says the officer fired after the man came at him with a shovel. CBS's Lana Zack.
Governor Tim Walz had urged Minnesotans to protest peacefully and to document what he called ICE agents' atrocities.
They're pulling over people indiscriminately, including U.S. citizens. They're breaking windows, dragging pregnant women down the street. This long ago stopped being a matter of immigration enforcement.
This is the second person shot by ICE agents in a week.
The first, Renee Good, died. 6 federal prosecutors quit after sources tell us they were being pressured to treat Good's killing as an assault on the officer. The UN Security Council has scheduled an emergency meeting to discuss the deadly protests in Iran. President Trump requested it after he called off threats to deliver a strong response if Iran begins executing demonstrators. Global affairs analyst Jonathan Wachtel.
I think what we're looking at is this realization that the reverberations of any sort of U.S. strike and demise, complete demise and rapid demise of the regime in Iran would cause convulsions in the region.
President Trump's doubling down on his demands for U.S. control of Greenland after yesterday's meeting between the foreign ministers of Greenland, Denmark, and Vice President Vance. Correspondent Nancy Cordes.
This was a meeting for the Danes and Greenlanders to basically say face-to-face to the VP that they want to keep their land. They want to work with the president, they say, but they're not going to give up territory. President Trump made it clear yesterday that is still not good enough for him.
College enrollment's at a 10-year high.
The National Student Clearinghouse Research Center says the number of undergraduate and graduate students rose to 19.4 million in the fall, driven by growing enrollment at community colleges. Enrollment at private colleges fell. Foreign student enrollment, a key source of revenue for some schools, is down after the Trump administration made it harder for them to come to the U.S. Many Americans have been questioning the value of a college diploma, but experts say students need education beyond high school in this complex economy. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Have a kid who's constantly scrolling? YouTube has new controls. CBS's Jolene Kent.
Parents of kid and teen account holders are now able to put in time restrictions that will limit how long their children can spend scrolling, and that ranges from 15 minutes to 2 hours.
Dow futures are down 24. This is CBS News.
You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
It is 6:03. Good morning. Major announcement expected this morning from Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson. We'll get to that in a moment. But first, let's check the early drive. Chris Sullivan has your traffic.
And I don't have a major announcement.
Good.
As of yet. But we already starting to see the backup on southbound I-5 as you make your way into the Northgate area. Again, as we get used to life without the express lanes. Already up to about a 40-minute trip from Everett into Seattle. 35 Everett to Bellevue as people are starting to already show up through Canyon Park now. Rest of the map, pretty quiet. There are some brake lights north of the 180th area into I-405 there in Renton. That's because we had an earlier issue there inside of 180th. Overall, 40 minutes from Puyallup up to Renton. Renton to Bellevue's only 15, though. Federal Way to Seattle, 35 minutes. That's great. Just a couple of little places of hesitation on northbound I-5 from Olympia to Tacoma, primarily right there at the bottom of the Nisqually as you work your way towards the bridge. Across the lake, no problems. So all in all, we're not too bad, but we know what's coming ahead of us coming out of the north end. This report brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Save $600 off windows, $1,500 off doors. From Lake Washington Windows and Doors, plus enjoy 12 months same as cash financing. Don't wait to visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue,
Seattle's morning news.
It is 6:04. Later this morning, Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson is expected to make major announcements on her plans for city transit and shelter for the homeless. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with a preview.
Yeah, Amanda, Wilson will be announcing significant action on transit and shelter for the homeless, combining those two issues into one meeting with her transition team. However, we still have to wait to hear what she wants to do specifically with transit and those homeless shelters or her plans for them. It comes on the heels, though, of Wilson's decision to cancel the removal of a controversial homeless camp in Ballard. Residents have complained about the camp, about shootings there, assaults, numerous break-ins at neighboring businesses. Wilson visited that camp the other day and said she needed more time to evaluate the city's approach to homelessness. Well, here was the reaction to that news from We Heart Seattle's Andrea Suarez, who works with the homeless boots on the ground.
They are open-air drug scenes. I can hear the foil now. I can hear the clicking of torches. There's squalid living conditions. There's rodents. It's right here on the bike trail.
So Wilson's announcement will be her first major policy-driven announcement since being elected. On the campaign trail, she said she will be looking for meaningful solutions to the homeless crisis. That includes getting the homeless off the street and into shelters and housing right away.
People are really looking for meaningful solutions. We have rates of unsheltered homelessness higher than just about anywhere in the country.
The mayor's announcement, again, will be at around 9:30 this morning on transit and shelter for the homeless, Amanda.
All right, Luke, keep us posted. Federal investigators say a structural flaw may have played a role in a deadly UPS crash. The National Transportation Safety Board reports cracks in the assembly holding the left engine could be a factor. That flaw was flagged in a Boeing service letter back in 2011, but the company said it was not a flight safety risk. The MD-11 cargo jet crashed in Louisville last November, killing 15 people. The official cause has not yet been determined. The ranking Democrat on the House Armed Services Committee believes there's at least a 50-50 chance President Trump orders military action in Iran sometime soon. Here's Congressman Adam Smith talking with CNN.
I think engaging regime change, dragging ourselves into a war in the Middle East, another war in the Middle East, is incredibly dangerous, an expense that the U.S. shouldn't engage in.
President Trump is threatening strong action in Iran as the country prepares to execute protesters. In the Oval Office yesterday, the president said killing has stopped in Iran. One person was injured by gunfire in Seattle overnight. Police say it happened near the 6500 block of Sylvan Way Southwest in the High Point area of West Seattle. They haven't released any details about the victim or potential suspects. A driver on I-5 was able to keep their hands on the wheel despite being shot in the back yesterday. It happened near the West Seattle Bridge. Investigators say this started with a car following another car too closely and may have developed into a road rage incident. Here's KIRO 7 TV's Brandon Thompson.
They are still looking into everything that led up to the shooting here today in Seattle. So they're asking anybody who was driving along that stretch of I-5 before noon to reach out to them if they saw anything, especially if you saw a dark blue van.
Another gunshot victim was dropped off at Harborview around the same time, but police do not believe those incidents are related.
Keeping you informed since 1974. This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
Well, good morning. It is Thursday, Friday Eve, almost Blue Friday. It's January 15th. I'm Manda Factor. Charlie Harger is a little under the weather, so he has the day off. Sully's here checking traffic on the 3s. When does it get ugly?
Anytime
About
over the
40
next
minutes
little
or
bit. By the way, I've been meaning to say, whenever Nick plays this song, I immediately am transported to
outer space.
Like a roller disco scene from
totally.
Chips.
I was going to say
You
disco.
know, there's
I'm roller skating.
roller disco. Yeah, it's
Totally.
kind of feel that.
It's kind of like a let's get going kind of feeling.
Yeah, I like it.
All right, we're off and running. Sully is here with that traffic every 10 minutes. Producer David Burbank in the studio. That was Nick Krasha picking the music and pushing all the buttons. And Jillian Raftery is at the news desk this morning in for Katrina. This hour of Seattle's Morning News is sponsored by American Crawl Space and Pest Control. And Sully, it's a Thursday, so you have a choke point coming up.
Yeah, I do. I traveled up to the Everett and Mukilteo border to take a look at a project we started talking about more than a year ago. It's way behind schedule, so I'm going to explain why. They pretty much hit every bad thing that could happen on this project.
It happens. All right. Also, KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey has a tech talk this morning. Some of the ways Microsoft is looking to counteract the negative implications of AI innovation. It's now 6:09. Seattle police are asking for help finding someone who set fire to a Capitol Hill bakery on Christmas Day. We get more from KIRO 7 TV's Samantha Lomibao.
James Propp still in disbelief watching this surveillance video. It shows a man setting fire to his Capitol Hill bakery, Cinnaholic, on Christmas Day.
It was pretty clear that he had a bag in hand of cardboard, boxes and stuff, and was just sitting there feeding the fire until it lit. And once it lit and it flamed up, this individual just got on his scooter.
The shop, usually filled with the scent of cinnamon rolls, now reeking of smoke. Flames charred the outside wall and blew out the window above it. Firefighters put it out before it could spread inside.
A surprise for a cleaning crew that showed up to a home in Burien yesterday. They found what looked like a pipe bomb in the garage. According to KIRO 7 TV, explosives experts with the King County Sheriff's Office responded. They blocked off the streets and got rid of that device. Police in Snoqualmie stopped a crime spree in its tracks, as we hear from KIRO News Radio's Jillian Raftery.
It all started with two people prowling a car in the Snoqualmie Ridge area. They broke in, found a garage door opener, and went to town taking things out of that garage. Surveillance video shows them leave, only to come back and steal the SUV parked in the garage of that house. Other Ring doorbell cameras clocked the suspects stealing packages in the neighborhood. Investigators got briefed on the pair, and one officer noticed them in a Safeway parking lot. They were arrested with yet another stolen car, displaying stolen plates. Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
4 Washington school districts are under federal investigation. The U.S. Department of Education announced yesterday it has launched Title IX investigations into 10 states, including 4 in Washington, Cheney, Sultan, Tacoma, and Vancouver. Complaints claim these districts allow students to join sports based on gender identity, not biological sex, allegedly discriminating against women and girls. We have reached out to all 4 of those districts for comment. Well, scientists expect the crowd at Saturday's Seahawks playoff game to generate so much energy, they've once again installed earthquake measuring equipment at Lumen Field.
The inspiration?
Oh, my word!
Seahawks running back Marshawn Lynch's 67-yard touchdown in the 2011 playoffs.
The beast is alive and well!
It became known as Beastquake after raucous fans triggered seismic equipment.
That one was kind of serendipity that we discovered that there was a seismic signal when that happened on one of our regular stations that was across the street, actually.
Pacific Northwest Seismic Network Director Harold Tobin. He says they've set up 6 seismometers around the stadium for fun and for educational purposes. They'll be sharing the results online. Heather Bosch, KIRO News Radio.
I just stumbled across the video of the Beastquake again. I cannot get enough of it. Well, there's no love lost, of course, between the Seahawks and the 49ers as the division rivals get set for Saturday's game. Linebacker Uchenna Nwosu tells 710 Seattle Sports.
I don't like the 49ers. I'm just straight up with it. I don't like him. None of us like him. We shouldn't like him.
Ouch. The Hawks split their regular season series with San Francisco, and Saturday's matchup at Lumen Field is set for kickoff at 5 o'clock. A note from the soccer world, FIFA says fans really want World Cup tickets, more than 500 million requests. The tournament is coming, of course, to the U.S., Mexico, and Canada this year, with Seattle hosting 6 matches. Outside the host countries, most requests came from Germany, England, Brazil, and Spain. Tickets are not cheap. Some cost up to $8,680. After some backlash, FIFA will offer $60 tickets to national federations for fans who have attended past games. 6:12, and that's time for a check on the weather now. It's going to be nice for several days. We're looking for some sunshine after the fog clears today. 50 our high. Tomorrow, nice way to wrap up the week, turning sunny and 51. The weekend looks terrific. Both Saturday and Sunday, mainly sunny and around 50 both days. Right now in Seattle, we have cloudy skies. It's 49. And time for a check on traffic at 6:13. Here's Chris Sullivan.
And we're doing okay as we start this Thursday morning. The one spot is, of course, the one that we've gotten used to this week and will be getting used to for the next 5 months, is the southbound I-5 drive, getting bogged down from about 145th now on I-5 southbound, going down to where the express lanes are closed in the southbound direction. We're up to about 45 minutes now from Everett into Seattle, 35 still from Everett to Bellevue, so you can see there's about a 10-minute delay. But we're kind of getting to that point where there's a little bit of yellow into Shoreline and into Mount Lake Terrace, so I'm pretty sure in the next little bit your opportunity to use southbound I-5 will really turn into something ugly. The rest of the map looks pretty decent. I mean, the lake bridges are quiet. Coming down from the north end, just a little bit of slowing in Marysville. I mean, primarily they're just south of SR 528. Valley Freeway, a little bit out of Auburn, but overall 20 minutes. Auburn to Renton, 40 from Puyallup. Olympia to Tacoma, the brake lights now are kind of right there by Center Drive and DuPont, but I mean, it's just a little bit of congestion. Rest of the way up looks really good. Federal Way to Seattle is running under 40 minutes. Most of the brake lights there are getting up past the Kent Des Moines Road. Renton to Bellevue, no problems there. Under 20 for you guys. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan. I'm their conduit, and I'm glad to do it.
Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Hey, oh, let's go.
Now, Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
Presented by Carter Subaru.
David and I are chuckling over the echo in your big, sully voice. You are the conduit.
Yes, I am.
Well, have you ever had a project where you ran into unexpected problems over and over again? The city of Everett is dealing with a big one right now, and it's pushed a project months behind schedule. Tell us more, Sully.
Well, I first reported on the Edgewater Bridge between Everett and Mukilteo in the fall of 2024. That's when the 57-year-old bridge over a ravine was closed, cutting off direct access between the two cities. The new bridge was expected to open in about a year, so sometime late last year, but that opening date has been pushed back until April, a delay of a couple of months. One might say this project has been plagued by Murphy's Law. If you don't know what that is, basically just about everything that could go wrong did. This is Dan Enrico, Everett's principal transportation engineer.
Unfortunately, we ran into some timbers, some bad geology, and weather conditions that have kind of pushed us to beyond our original anticipated substantial completion date.
That's the 30,000 foot view of what happened. And if you're looking at YouTube Live, here's me walking through the construction site, taking a look at what the bridge looks like now. It doesn't look like anytime soon.
No.
But here's what really happened. Everett City Engineer Tom Hood starts by explaining about those unexpected wood timbers and concrete that they found when they started digging, which had nothing to do with the bridge that was being replaced.
There was a timber bridge prior to that, which of course we didn't have any records of. And I believe, based on what we found, they demolished the old bridge and just left it in the ravine to get covered up. And of course, we found it during construction.
Yeah, never good when you demolish something and just leave it there. Well, that had to be removed, so that set them back a little bit. Then one of the two cranes being used broke down.
One of them actually broke down during construction, and that costed us, as you can imagine, a couple of weeks while parts were procured and repairs were done. So that was another one of those things that just set us back a little bit.
And then came the atmospheric rivers.
That rainfall actually overwhelmed our storm sewer system and sent a torrent of sheet flow of water down the ravine and took out much of the slope with it.
And a lot of the work that they'd already done. You add this all up and you're looking at this lengthy delay, and you can see why the bridge looks like it's nowhere near being complete. Something that the 6,000 daily drivers didn't want to hear, something that the neighbors on either side of the bridge didn't want to hear, but Hood understands that.
Our first message is empathy with the neighbors that are affected by this. The closer the people live to the bridge, the more affected they are, obviously, with the detour route and things like that. And so that is never lost on us.
The good news is that the work is now out of the ravine, so the risk of new surprises is going down. Enrico on where they are on the project today.
All the girders are set. They are tying rebar and putting in the forms for pouring the deck. And within the next couple of weeks, we'll have a deck all the way across that bridge.
And then comes the concrete approaches. As you can see on the video, there's a little gap there covered with rock. That's the approach area. Then you have the bridge just to the north, to the west of that. So there are a couple different sections that they have to put some concrete on. Now, the weather is the only real concern going forward because you have to cure. Concrete doesn't certainly like lots and lots of rain. Hood says they're working with the contractor to pick up the pace where possible.
Once the bridge is, the deck is cured and the approach slabs are cured, the intent is to put down temporary stripe and open it to traffic, vehicular traffic at first. So that's goal number one.
Pedestrians and all those dog walkers will have to wait a little bit longer than the cars to cross this new bridge as the work wraps up. Just another good reminder that you never know what you're going to find when you start digging in our state.
Might find a bridge.
You might find a bridge, one that was not anticipated. And I mean, they did dig test shafts, all around through that site, and they missed them every single time. They missed the bridge, and so it's just, it's a difficult project to begin with because it's a very deep ravine, and they just pretty much hit every problem that you possibly could.
Frustrating for sure, but what are you going to do?
So it'll hopefully be done here in a couple months.
Now you say weather is the only real concern. It is January. So
true. Cold isn't the issue unless it gets down below
rain,
40.
Right?
It's the rain because you have to cure and things. And, they built this into the contract for, some of the, delays for weather and things like that. But that's really the only hiccup between now and then. And the weather's been good this week. So they're out there, trying to do what they can to get that bridge deck done.
All right.
So, those folks up there have been struggling.
Cool video, though.
And I've got a longer one up at mynorthwest.com, too. So, if you have projects in your neighborhood or whatever, you can always reach out to me, and I'll dig into them, let you know what I can find.
All right, stand by. We'll get back to you in a couple of minutes for traffic, what's happening right now. Scientists are calculating the high price of human-generated carbon dioxide emissions. CBS News national environmental correspondent David Schechter reports.
A new study from Scripps Institution of Oceanography finds that when you add ocean impacts on what's called the social cost of carbon, that cost nearly doubles. Until now, the ocean was mostly left out of these calculations. In a nutshell, this report means that nearly $2 trillion in ocean-related damages every year linked to carbon emissions are not being counted. Scientists hope this new information helps policymakers weigh the true cost of emissions and the value of protecting the ocean. David Schechter, CBS News, Dallas.
4 astronauts have returned early from the International Space Station because of a medical emergency with a crew member. Their capsule splashed down off the coast of California. NASA says the crew member in question is doing fine. We get the update from CBS News correspondent Mark Strassman.
It was a serious situation. The astronaut in question is fine right now. Good spirits.
Undocking confirmed.
Last evening at 5:20 Eastern Time, the crew undocked from the ISS for its nearly 11-hour trip back to Earth. Their mission cut short last week when the ISS crew surprised everyone by calling for help.
Do you have backup crew center? Yes, we'll get that in work.
What's unclear, what the medical problem involves, or which astronaut needs care back on Earth. Retired astronaut Leroy Chow.
Although we're very well medically screened and examined before flight, some kind of a medical issue can crop up.
What is clear, staying in space posed someone real risk. Astronauts get basic medical training before they launch. At least one medical officer is always aboard the ISS. But this moment proves all that training and onboard medical kit has limits. Commander Mike Fink spoke for all the returning astronauts earlier this week.
I wish it were longer, but we have what we have, and it was a lot of fun.
In a break with splashdown routine, the returning crew headed straight to the hospital for observation. They stayed overnight. NASA has strict privacy rules, which is why everything about the medical issue remains a mystery. YouTube is introducing new parental controls on youth accounts that it says could limit how long your kids spend scrolling. CBS News correspondent Jolene Kent has more from Los Angeles.
These latest controls from YouTube are focused on YouTube Shorts. That's the part of the video sharing social media platform that has a continuous scrolling video feed featuring videos that run 3 minutes or less. Parents of kid and teen account holders are now able to put in time restrictions that will limit how long their children can spend scrolling, and that ranges from 15 minutes to 2 hours.
About 3/4 of American teenagers say they use YouTube every day. Nearly 1 in 5 say they're on the platform almost constantly. 6:22, and let's get back to Sully for an update on traffic. We do that every 10 minutes. Has the ugly arrived yet?
Yes, it's starting to really materialize. From about the Nile Golf Course there at the Edmonds exit, it starts to bog down. You get a little bit of a gap through most of Shoreline, and then you hit it really hard right around 145th. So we're already up to about 50 minutes from Everett to Seattle. 35 of those minutes are from Linwood. Everett to Bellevue is about 35 to 38, with 20 of those minutes out of Linwood. So 405 still has plenty of capacity if that's where you want to go at this particular moment. Rest of the map, northbound 405 definitely heating up. We've got a 20-minute drive for you. Once you're up past SR 900, it's going to be pretty good. Behind that, you have a Puyallup up to Renton of about 42, 43 minutes. Definitely seeing brake lights out of Auburn. Brake lights northbound I-5 past Highway 18 as you work your way into Federal Way. It's about 42, 43 minutes to get the drive up into Seattle. From there, the lake bridges are still quiet. Olympia to Tacoma, no problems for you guys, 35 minutes there. So all in all, we're okay, but we're definitely starting to dip into the deep water with our toes coming down out of Linwood. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. Head to by the Seattle Seahawks, that is. Head to Seahawks.com/tickets and secure your playoff seats today.
Our forecast, you might see some fog in spots this morning. Otherwise, it's going to be really nice. We're headed for a nice sunny stretch of weather. Sunshine for the afternoon and 50. Sunny tomorrow as we wrap up the weekend. Both Saturday and Sunday, sunshine and highs into the low 50s. It's cloudy and 49 in Seattle right now. And coming up, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has a preview of Saturday night's divisional round game between the Hawks and the 49ers. We'll also get to your opening bell report here on Seattle's Morning News.
2 wins away from the Super Bowl.
It's time to eat, boys.
The first obstacle, a hated rival.
Purdy has time, throws to the middle, intercepted.
Victim to some of the greatest playoff moments in Seahawks history.
Welcome to the dark side.
Richard Sherman tips it.
Whole city going up like it's our time.
Seahawks, 49ers.
All teed up.
The divisional round of the NFL playoffs.
You know how we do it. Better bring your hard hat when you can illumine.
Saturday night, kickoff at 5 on the home of the Seahawks. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
If you've saved more than $300,000, you may have a big problem in retirement, and it's taxes. Taxes on your IRA and 401k withdrawals, taxes on your Social Security benefits, taxes on your investment income, and more. And when you add it all up, this could be your largest expense in retirement. That's why it's critical you get in front of this now. Hi, it's Charlie Harger. Discover the strategies that could significantly reduce your taxes in retirement with a free, customized retirement tax savings analysis. It's from Boss Retirement Solutions, who has 2 locations in Seattle. Schedule your free analysis now by calling 206-210-1350. That's 206-210-1350. Don't overpay your taxes to the government. Call 206-210-1350.
Advisory services offered through Boss Retirement Advisors. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. No statement contained herein should constitute tax, legal, or investment advice.
This winter, drive with confidence in a Subaru from Subaru of Puyallup. From rainy commutes to icy roads, Subaru's legendary all-wheel drive and advanced safety are built for our winters. Subaru of Puyallup is known for something even better, a stress-free car buying experience. No pressure, no games. Just friendly Subaru experts helping you find the right vehicle at the right price. Start shopping now and see our stress-free pricing exclusively at SubaruofPuyallup.com. Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership, part of the Harnish Auto family.
Happy New Year, Susan. I really appreciate you picking up the bill for lunch.
I'm happy to. One of my New Year's resolutions is being better with money. So I've started using Upside, the free app that pays you cash back for buying gas.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I earn cash back just for buying the gas I was already buying.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make $200 to $300 this year.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play and start earning cash back on everyday gas purchases. Use promo code RIDER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents per gallon on your next fill up. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code RIDER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code RIDER. Code RIDER.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
At Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation, we know that keeping your home watertight and dry is essential to your family's safety and comfort. Having well-functioning gutters prevents water damage to your home and prolongs the life of your roof. Whether you need a cleaning or a complete gutter install, we do it all. Call today and get $250 off a gutter installation and visit us at guardianroofing.com.
If you've been injured in a car accident, you have two choices: handle everything yourself or hire an experienced attorney. Go it alone, and you'll be on the phone with insurance adjusters, chasing medical records, fighting for lost wages, and trying to figure out what your case is really worth. Hire the right attorney, and they take all that off your plate so you can focus on getting better. Harold Carr Law Offices has a dedicated team of 48 people and more than 35 years of experience handling car accident cases right here in our community. Harold Carr Law Offices handles big cases and small ones while still treating their clients like family. Here's the difference they make. They save you time, reduce your stress, and get you significantly more money than you'd ever get on your own. Harold Carr Law Offices fights for you at no out-of-pocket cost to you. If you're in a car accident, call them right away. Visit carlaw.com. 2 R's in car. Car accident? Call CAR.
Guys, if your energy is low, your strength isn't what it used to be, or your drive feels off, it's not just getting older. For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Washington, you can start with a free T-check, exam, and consultation so you get real answers about your testosterone levels and overall health. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. This isn't guesswork or one-size-fits-all treatment. Revive specializes in personalized, closely monitored testosterone care designed to help men feel stronger, sharper, and more like themselves again. With over 120,000 patients treated since 2011, Revive Men's Health is trusted for results, not hype. If you've been putting this off, now is the time to act. Claim your free T-check and consultation and see if you qualify for 25% off TRT. This month only. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Terms apply, must medically qualify.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue,
Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It is 6:30. There's been another shooting in Minneapolis involving ICE. This time, a man was shot in the leg. The shooting prompted a new round of protests last night, and federal agents once again used controversial tactics against the demonstrators. CBS News correspondent Lana Zach has more from Minneapolis.
Governor Tim Walz had urged Minnesotans to protest peacefully and to document what he called ICE agents' atrocities.
They're pulling over people indiscriminately, including U.S. citizens. They're breaking windows, dragging pregnant women down the street. This long ago stopped being a matter of immigration enforcement.
This is the second person shot by ICE agents in a week.
Seattle's mayor set to make a big announcement this morning. Katie Wilson says she'll unveil major plans for transit and homelessness. It'll happen at 9:30 at El Centro de la Raza's Cultural Center. We'll have details for you just as soon as they're released. All right, buckle up, 12s. The countdown is on. Less than 60 hours away from the Seahawks and their longtime rivals, the San Francisco 49ers, colliding once again. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with all the buzz ahead of one of the NFL's fiercest matchups.
It's going to be a good one, and the preparation for Saturday night's game starts right now. I'm talking the food prep. You got to organize your tailgate, folks. Choose which jersey, if you're me, to wear to the game or for the game. I'm curious, what do you all do? My biggest, I can never decide what to cook, what to eat if I'm not going to the game. Amanda, you're going to the game.
I'm going to the game. I'm going to the game, and I'm going to eat way too much and have a lot of fun and have no voice by Sunday morning. If it's an away game, I always have to have something in the crock pot. Doesn't matter what it is.
Nice.
It's my Seahawks crock pot.
Awesome. That's great. Sully, I'm really curious about you.
Nothing.
I knew it.
Why aren't you prepping for the game?
Well, because even if you're a regular game, I'm usually just kind of sitting at home, just kind of watching it. This weekend I'll be at the Silver Tips game,
which is fun,
which is great. So we'll be watching that, and so probably eating way too much as well.
I'm guessing they'll have a screen tuned to the game.
And at least I will.
Yeah, right. Well, for me, it's my daughter's birthday party on Saturday, so there will be a lot of great food. Hopefully not too much Hawks talk before the game. Everyone hopefully at the party will kind of leave by game time, and then we'll all kind of do our own separate watching things. For me, during games, I'll be totally honest, I can't eat. I'm pacing back and forth. I'm like clenching my fists. I'm kind of freaking out, having a low-key freak out. So eating for me is afterwards. If they win, then I think G has talked about this. You reward yourself with something good. If they lose, you cope with your feelings by also eating something good.
Well, you know who's getting things kicked off for the state, the entire state? Governor Bob Ferguson raising the 12th man flag at the state capitol yesterday with a message for the Niners.
Nothing is sweeter than going to the Super Bowl by beating the San Francisco 49ers on the way there, right?
Yeah, that's right. And when the Hawks win Saturday, they will be just one game away from another Super Bowl. Think about that. You know, when it comes to playing our division rivals, just ask the players how they feel about this one. Like linebacker Uchenna Nwosu, who told 710 Seattle Sports, and I love that he said this.
You know, I don't like the 49ers. I'm just straight up with it. Like, I don't like him. None of us like him. We shouldn't like them.
You shouldn't like them.
Thanks for the advice.
Coach McDonald is playing it a little bit cooler, though. He's saying he's trying to tell everyone in the media, hey, it's just another game. It's week 19. No, it's not, Mike. Come on. 5 p.m. kickoff Saturday. You can catch the game right here on KIRO News Radio. And I have a feeling, and I think you all do as well, that we're in store for another moment like this one during the 2013 NFC Championship against the Niners. Richard Sherman tipped a pass to Malcolm Smith.
Kaepernick, end zone, Crabtree, broken up, picked up. This game is over. Knocked in the air, intercepted by Smith. Off the hands of Richard Sherman.
We won the Super Bowl.
That just gave me chills.
I know.
That was so cool.
It's going to happen again. I think.
Hearing the crowd, I want to hear the crowd that
Yeah.
loud.
Oh, they will be, I'm sure.
Interesting you said that because we've got more on crowd noise coming up in the next hit we have with the Seahawks about an hour from now.
All right, perfect. Thank you. Of course, kickoff 5 o'clock Saturday night. Let's check traffic now. We do that every 10 minutes, and Chris Sullivan is watching what's becoming a busy morning
Yes,
already.
already up to an hour now from Everett into the Seattle area. 40 of those minutes from Linwood, so behind schedule by about 15. You're going to hit the brakes right around the Edmonds exit, and off and on slowing all the way down past Northgate at this point. A lot of people heading over to 405 as well early. 45 minutes now from Everett to Bellevue. 25 of those minutes out of Linwood, so we're about 5 or 6 minutes slower there. Rest of the map, kind of average for a Thursday. We've got brake lights from Puyallup to Renton off and on. 45 minutes for the trip for you guys. 25 of those minutes out of Auburn. We have pretty heavy brake lights there at 18. And then Renton to Bellevue is about 20 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle is running about 45. Not a lot of red on the map there. Just a little bit of yellow in the usual places. Olympia to Tacoma is only 35 minutes. Lake bridges are quiet. This report brought to you by Northwest Hope and Healing. Join Northwest Hope and Healing for Cork Fork and support an afternoon of wine tasting and inspiration. Get your tickets now for January 31st at nwhopeandhealing.org.
Our forecast, you might see some fog in spots this morning, but partly sunny by afternoon, warming up to about 50. Overnight low in the upper 30s. Tomorrow and Saturday and Sunday, we're going to see lots of sunshine with highs into the low 50s. In fact, we don't have a chance of rain in the forecast officially until Wednesday, and that's just a slight chance of rain. Right now in Seattle, it's cloudy and 49. And at 6:36, it's time for the opening bell report. The Trump administration has decided not to cut $2 billion for mental health and addiction services.
A day after the administration told more than 2,000 addiction and mental health programs their federal funding was being cut, the funding has been restored. The administration hasn't said why. Gretchen Burns Bergman founded A New Path, a California nonprofit that helps people with drug addictions.
If the Trump administration is concerned about the fentanyl crisis and overdose deaths, as they say they are, why on earth would they gut the very funding that keeps these programs alive?
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Numbers released this week from the Consumer Price Index indicate that inflation is stable, but the cost of everyday goods is still a bit high. News Nation's Vinay Simlot reports.
Americans say they're still concerned about prices, specifically groceries and housing. Inflation skyrocketed back in 2022 to an all-time high of 9%. It has settled out around 3% since 2023, and the president says the economy is booming.
Productivity is soaring, investment is booming, incomes are rising. Inflation is defeated.
President Donald Trump defended his tariff policy at an auto plant, arguing his tariffs on foreign-made cars brought jobs back to Michigan.
The Trump tariffs have delivered us trillions of dollars of new investment.
But economists say those import taxes are passed on to the American consumer. His stop in Michigan follows trips to Pennsylvania and North Carolina last month to talk about the economy.
I will be laying out even more plans to help bring back affordability. And again, remember, that's a fake word by Democrats.
Hiring remains sluggish. Unemployment ticked down last month to 4.4%, but it's higher than the 4.1% in December of 2024.
These prices are going to keep on increasing and increasing and increasing, and its focus is elsewhere as acting president of Venezuela.
Democrats say the president has spent too much time focused on issues abroad and not enough time on the economy at home.
What's Trump's response to Americans struggling to make ends meet? More global adventurism, not relief at home.
In an interview with CBS News, the president defended the time he spends on foreign policy, saying he is trying to keep Americans safe. In Washington, I'm Vinay Simlot.
Drivers and shoppers in Edmonds will see a small tax increase soon. City Council approved a 0.1% sales tax this week for street and sidewalk improvements. According to the Everett Herald, the city could start collecting in April. That means about $660,000 in 2026 and roughly $1 million a year starting in 2027. That money will help restore street maintenance staffing to 2024 levels, adding 3 positions. And Flat Stick Pub is bringing mini golf and craft beer to Woodinville. The Seattle-based Social House signed a lease in the Schoolhouse District. The company expects to open by the end of this year in that 12,000-square-foot spot. According to the Puget Sound Business Journal, Flat Stick started in Kirkland in 2014 and now has several locations in the state. It's 6:39 and trading is underway for the day on Wall Street. Stocks are higher. The Dow up about 227 right now at 49,377. S&P 500 up 36 and the Nasdaq is up just about 167 points. A word now for KIRO 7 News, live starting at 4. It's news that puts you there so you can see for yourself. News that's happening now so you're ready. News that investigates to get you answers. News that's local because where you live matters. No more, no now on KIRO 7 News at 4, 5, and 6 p.m. Sully, what's coming up in traffic?
Well, we're going to take a look at the drive out of the north end. It's actually worse on 405 now than I-5 as people are looking for ways to avoid the delays. We'll talk about it coming up next.
The opening bell is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital Common Sense Lending.
This is what the NFL playoffs are all about.
The Seahawks win the game.
A dominant Seahawks team, 2 wins away from the Super Bowl.
This is the vision that we had for our team.
Hosting a bitter rival.
Richard Sherman tips it.
In front of the best, loudest fans in the game.
Listen to the 12th man.
Let's go. Seahawks 49ers, Saturday night. Kickoff at 5 on the home of the Seahawks. KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
If you own rental property, you don't want to miss this, especially in today's market. John Curley here from Madrona Financial. Are you a landlord? Are you actually making money? Madrona's Landlord Exit Workshop is a free, hands-on event designed to help landlords understand the true numbers behind their rental properties and make a confident decision about whether to keep them or sell. It's happening in person this Thursday, 3 p.m. at UW Tacoma. Frankly, many landlords are sitting on properties that look good but aren't performing. You'll learn how to evaluate cash flow, equity, taxes, and long-term risks. And if selling makes sense, how to do it in the most tax-efficient way possible. Don't miss Madrona's free Landlord Exit Workshop this Thursday at 3 p.m. at UW Tacoma campus. Space is limited and seats will fill fast. To RSVP, call 833-673-7373. 833-673-7373. Reserve your spot now or sign up online at madronafinancial.com/events.
How about a simple New Year's resolution, one that even I was able to achieve? Reverse the clock on hair loss with Advanced Hair's simple one-day FUE treatment. You'll feel more confident and more youthful when you witness your own natural hair growing into those places that have been balding or thinning for years. I'm surprised and relieved every time I look in the mirror. You need to know what that feels like. From Advanced Hair's breakthrough technology to their highly experienced team, there is no one I would trust more than Advanced Hair Restoration. I experienced their exceptional standard of care firsthand. Your comfort and your results are the top priority of the entire Advanced Hair team. Celebrate this new year with a fuller head of hair and get a free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts. Call 425-449-8185. That's 425-449-8185. Discover what meeting your resolutions could look like with the before and after pictures at advancedhair.com.
It's the Clearance Savings Spectacular at Olympic Hot Tub. We're slashing prices on hot tubs, saunas, and swim spas. Even bigger savings on floor models. Plus, no interest through 2031. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
It's hiring season at Sky Nursery. Hi, I'm Jen, greenhouse manager here at Sky, where we've been proudly serving Seattle area gardeners since 1953. Sky Nursery is truly a fantasy plant land, but it's also a bustling environment that takes a great team to succeed. Whether you're making coffee, cashiering, or on the sales floor, we're looking for applicants who like to learn, adapt with the seasons, and go home knowing they made a difference in somebody's garden. Spring is fast approaching. Find open seasonal positions and benefits at skynursery.com.
6:43, time for a check on traffic. We do that every 10 minutes on the threes, and here's Chris Sullivan.
And we're definitely filling in coming down from the north end. We have the heavy brake lights beginning in the Edmonds area, going right down towards where we lose the express lanes in Northgate. So we have about an hour and 5-minute trip, or make that an hour and 10 from Everett to Seattle, with 45 of those minutes from Linwood. That's about a 15-minute delay, and we're definitely filling in from Linwood down on 405 down through Bothell. That one looks pretty heavy at this point. We're getting closer to a 45-minute trip from Linwood to Bellevue, and an hour and 10 as well, all the way from Everett. Give yourself an extra 15 on that drive there, so we are definitely off to the races. Rest of the map, not too bad. Rented to Bellevue, the S-curves have definitely filled in a little bit, but all in all, we've got about a 25-minute trip to get you up to Bellevue. Once you're past an SR 900, you're going to be in pretty good shape. Puyallup up to Renton is 45 to 50 minutes, depending on how you hit the volume in Auburn. Right now, it starts kind of before 18 and meanders past Emerald Downs. And then Federal Way to Seattle, some brake lights just north of 18. Then the rest of the way on up's not bad. We're under 50 to make that drive from Federal Way to Seattle. Lake bridges are still good. This report brought to you by Wilcox Farms. Fresh food comes from local farms. Check the packaging. For healthier eggs with 3 times the omega-3s, choose Wilcox Omega-3 eggs, locally fresh since 1909.
See some fog in spots this morning, then partly sunny for the afternoon. Very nice, a high of 50 for today. Tomorrow, Friday, Blue Friday, turning sunny in the afternoon and 51. The weekend looks terrific. Saturday will be nice and dry for the football game at Lumen. Sunshine and 52, same deal on Sunday. Right now, it's cloudy and 49 in Seattle. And coming up on Tech Talk, looking at some of the ways AI tech giants are trying to work with communities to counteract the negative impacts of the technology. This is KIRO Newsradio.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto-pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-771-1300. That's 800-771-1300.
Hi, I'm Maria, salon owner. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
The new year brings new health goals and wealth goals. Protecting your identity is an important step. Your info is in endless places that could expose you to identity theft, leading to lost funds. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Resolve to make identity health and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
Paid political announcement.
More than half of short-term rentals across Washington are booked by Washingtonians. Families traveling for their children's tournaments and games. firefighters fighting wildfires, traveling nurses providing critical care. Every day, short-term rentals are helping make travel more affordable. Legislators in Olympia are considering increasing taxes on short-term rentals. But with the cost of everything going up, we can't take another price increase. Keep travel affordable for us. Paid for by Airbnb helps our state thrive host pack.
Seattle's morning news on KIRO Newsradio.
Why do I feel like roller skating again, Nick?
I just felt kind of, techie for this coming segment,
I love it. Thank you very much, because it is time for Tech Talk. It's 6:48. Lots of concerns over the energy and resources required to continue developing AI technology. Well, Microsoft is addressing those concerns, as we hear from KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey.
Before we start pointing fingers, let's be honest. We are all part of the problem. You, me, anyone who uses a computer, a tablet, or pulls out a phone for directions, a text, a post on X, a snap to friends, or a quick round of Subway Surfers, Roblox, or Candy Crush.
Sugar Crush. Tasty.
Yes, we are all fueling the AI revolution, which Microsoft President Brad Smith just announced is creating new challenges, new needs, and new technologies
that come together to build the AI infrastructure that will create the next foundation for American growth and prosperity.
However, these days, when it comes to building infrastructure like data centers, which are the physical backbone of the internet, modern computing, and AI, the rule for Microsoft is no longer what the late, great James Earl Jones said in the movie Field of Dreams: if you build it.
Oh, people will come, Ray. People will most definitely come.
Instead, Smith and Microsoft are launching a new national initiative to work with and better support the communities where they build, own, and operate data centers.
We call it our Community First AI Infrastructure Plan, and it has 5 pieces. It's designed to address electricity, water, jobs, taxes, and skills.
When it comes to jobs and skills, Microsoft says they'll now train more local residents to take over skilled labor jobs. And for taxes,
we will not go into a local community and ask them to create a local property tax reduction or abatement in order to attract a data center from Microsoft.
Which leaves the 2 biggest potential impacts created by the almost 12,000 data centers worldwide, 40% of which sit right here in the U.S. The Department of Energy projects by 2028, the nation's data centers will use up 580 terawatt hours, or 12% of all the electricity in the U.S. Microsoft has a message for communities, much like Uncle Ben to Peter Parker in Spider-Man.
Remember, with great power comes great responsibility.
So the tech giant is pledging to make sure their data centers do not increase electricity prices for communities by paying for substations and transmission wires themselves. And when it comes to water,
we will minimize our water use and we will replenish more of your water than we will use.
A Purdue University study says an average data center uses 300,000 gallons of water each and every day to keep it cool. Smith says that's why they're now committed to reducing their data center water use by 40% and be water positive by the end of the decade.
Now that's what I call high-quality H2O.
For AI infrastructure, critics say tech companies need to raise the bar.
And here at Microsoft, we're focused first and foremost on raising it on ourselves. We believe in it because we've been part of it, because we've seen it and we've helped create it.
So, Amanda, Microsoft points to Quincy, Washington, just down the road near Moses Lake here, to illustrate the success that they can achieve. That's where they built their first data center some 15 years ago. In that time, they've helped build Quincy High School, a new medical center. Property tax revenue has tripled there in the last 15 years, and people living below the poverty line in that area of Quincy has been cut in half.
15 years ago. Wow, how things have changed since then.
Yeah,
right?
and there are like 19 other data centers there now.
When's the last time you used a clip from Waterboy in a news story?
I did that for Sully.
Waterboy and Spider-Man and Field of Dreams.
Hey, let's just have fun with it.
I think since we're getting closer to the Seahawks game, we're all in kind of a festive mood.
You got it.
Feeling the creative juices flowing. All right, Luke, thank you very much. Healthcare is incorporating more high-tech into its landscape. Artificial intelligence is transforming the doctor-patient relationship, as we hear from News Nation's Marna Hughes.
More than 230 million people ask health questions on ChatGPT every week, and doctors stand to benefit. AI relieves them of time-consuming administrative tasks. A recent study found that physicians spend nearly half of their time on health records and sitting at a desk doing work, compared to 27% of their time spent with the actual patient.
One of the issues yet to be addressed is accountability when it comes to using AI in medical care, which could fall largely to the individual facilities. Talk about a vacation that's far, far away. CBS News correspondent Chris Mavridis says you could book an out-of-this-world getaway soon.
No dates yet, but you can plunk down a deposit of between $250,000 and $1 million to secure a spot in the first space hotel. Sounds crazy, but the company called Gru Space projects it could be built in the next 6 years. They say the first rooms will be inflatable and sleep 4 guests. Eventually, they say they want to replace it with something made out of lunar bricks and modeled after the fancy San Francisco Palace of Fine Arts. Chris Mavridis, CBS News.
6:53, and that's time for traffic around here. We do that every 10 minutes on the threes. Chris Sullivan, it is another busy morning already.
Yes, it is. Coming out of the north end especially. And a lot more people have chosen 405 today early, and it's bumper to bumper from Linwood all the way down through 522. About an hour and 10 minutes now from Everett to Bellevue, with 50 of those minutes from Linwood. So we're behind schedule by about 15 there. Also about 15 minutes behind schedule, maybe a little under, from Everett down into Seattle. The brake lights there don't start till about 175th and Shoreline. So that's positive. It's about 5 minutes faster, actually, on I-5 than it is on 405, but still a pretty heavy 46-minute trip down from Linwood, so not great. Westbound across the 526 corridor, a little heavy heading over to Boeing, but not too bad. Tressel's not bad. I-5 in Marysville's hanging in there. The Renton to Bellevue Drive, we've got about a 25-minute trip for you, not quite up to a half an hour. Brake lights kind of peter out as you get up towards 44th, the VMAX Seahawks practice facility. Behind that on the Valley Freeway, a little over 50 minutes from Puyallup to Renton, the heaviest spot there in Auburn, and at the north end as you approach 180th. Federal Way to Seattle's got about a 50-minute trip, off and on braking up through the Kent-Des Moines Road, a little bit past the West Seattle Bridge, but not too much. Across the lake, we're still doing really well. Olympia to Tacoma's only 35 minutes and nothing on 18 or 16. So other than that drive out of the north end, we're in a pretty good spot right now. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
We're into a really nice stretch of weather for this time of year. We're going to see sunshine by afternoon, at least partly sunny after the fog lifts. 50 the high for today. Tomorrow, Friday, Blue Friday, turning sunny again, 51. And then Saturday, game day, and Sunday, sunshine both days by the afternoon with highs into the low 50s. I'm looking ahead to next week, and we don't have any chance of rain in the forecast until Wednesday. And even then, it's just a slight chance of rain. It's cloudy and 49 in Seattle right now. And coming up in the next hour, Luke Ducey returns on what to expect from Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson's significant announcement on transit and shelter coming up later this morning. Also, I really enjoyed this. We're going to hear from 2 of the lead cast members of A Beautiful Noise, the Neil Diamond musical. It's on now at the Paramount through the 18th, and that is coming up at 7:15. This is Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
It's a new year. Ready for a fresh start or career reboot? At My Computer Career, prep for a more recession-resistant future in the high-demand fields of IT, cybersecurity, in months, not years, including AI. Whether you're starting out or switching careers, no prior training is needed. Attend school online from home or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu to take the free career evaluation today. mycomputercareer.edu, an elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
KIRO FM
FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit DanielNelsonMD.com. That's DanielNelsonMD.com.
Happy New Year, Susan. I really appreciate you picking up the bill for lunch.
I'm happy to. One of my New Year's resolutions is being better with money. So I've started using Upside, the free app that pays you cash back for buying gas.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I earn cash back just for buying the gas I was already buying.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make $200 to $300 this year.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play and start earning cash back on everyday gas purchases. Use promo code RIDER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents per gallon on your next fill up. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code RIDER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code RIDER. Code RIDER.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
KIRO News Radio has your chance to win 6 tickets to the Seattle Boat Show, January 30th through February 4th at the Lumen Field Event Center. Head to mynorthwest.com/win to enter and see contest rules. That's mynorthwest.com/win for your chance to win.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. President Trump is threatening to invoke the Insurrection Act to allow him to deploy troops to Minneapolis to quell anti-ICE protests that have flared up after a federal agent shot a Venezuelan migrant in the leg during a traffic stop. Loyola Law's Lori Levinson.
It's very rare for that act to be invoked. In fact, over the course of time, there's probably no more than 30 times that a president has invoked the act. And it's been in really extreme situations.
Homeland Security says that wounded man was coming at the agent with a shovel. U.S. Southern Command announced last hour the U.S. had seized another sanctioned oil tanker in the Caribbean with ties to Venezuela. Video shows soldiers rappelling onto the deck. Comes ahead of President Trump's meeting with Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado at the White House today. CBS's Ed O'Keefe is there.
The big unknown is how long will the Venezuelan people, both in the country and those millions who live outside across the world, wait for some return to democracy, some sense of normalcy. Is it a year? Is it several years? Or will it be shorter than that? And the meetings like the ones the president's having on Thursday can help set that tone and get a sense of the timetable.
EU countries take action a day after a stalemate of a meeting between Vice President Vance and foreign ministers from Greenland and Denmark. The BBC's Joanna Kane.
Countries including France, Germany and Sweden are sending troops to Greenland to create a more permanent military presence on the semi-autonomous Danish island. Denmark says it's also stepping up its contribution. Denmark hasn't spelled out exactly why the troops have been invited, but the Prime Minister, Mette Frederiksen, said America's ambition to take over Greenland remained intact and a fundamental disagreement remained.
A SpaceX capsule carrying 4 astronauts splashed down in the Pacific off San Diego after making an early exit from the International Space Station.
On behalf of SpaceX and NASA, welcome home, Crew 11.
SpaceX Dragon, it's so good to be home.
CBS's Mark Strassman.
From that capsule, looking like a charred marshmallow, the crew of 4 was removed one by one onto the deck of a SpaceX recovery ship. One of them is dealing with an unknown but concerning medical issue.
The CDC is reporting 171 new cases of measles across 9 states so far this year. Medical contributor Dr. Celine Gounder.
Measles is one of the most contagious infections known to man, which is why we need to have such high vaccination rates. Over 95% of kids need to be vaccinated to prevent an outbreak.
The Dow is up 117 points. This is CBS News.
I'm Major Garrett. Follow and listen to The Takeout on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Coming up, major announcement expected from Seattle's mayor this morning. First at 7:03, let's check the roads. Chris Sullivan has our traffic update. Here we go again.
That's not going to get tiresome over the next 5 months, is it?
Yes.
Oh, boy, yeah. Off to the races out of the north end again. We are looking at very heavy brake lights as you pull away from Linwood because of the closure of the express lanes in the southbound direction of I-5. However, today, 405 is actually much worse than I-5. The drive on southbound I-5, you really don't hit the brakes until you're down to about 175th and Shoreline, and they extend down to about the Lake City Way area. So the travel time from Everett to Seattle is only about an hour and 5 minutes. But it's an hour and 20 from Everett down into Bellevue because it is bumper to bumper out of the Linwood area all the way down past 522. So not a good drive there for you guys. Also seeing another morning of westbound 522 being very heavy getting over to 405. We do have a crash on northbound 167 right around Main Street in the Auburn area. The express toll lane is blocked, and that's why we're so slow there through the area. Give yourself 30 minutes out of Auburn and 55 all the way from Puyallup. Federal Way to Seattle seeing some heavy brake lights past 320th, and then about a 50-minute trip total all the way to get you up into Seattle. The lake bridges are still quiet. Olympia to Tacoma, no problem. This report brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. Power outages can happen without warning. Get a backup generator before the next storm. Save $1,000 now at homecomfortalliance.com.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue,
Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It is 7:04. Later this morning, Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson is expected to make major announcements on her plans for city transit and shelter for the homeless. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here live with a preview.
Yeah, Amanda Wilson will be announcing what she says is significant action on transit and shelter for the homeless, combining those two issues into one meeting. This is the specific details won't be revealed, of course, until 9:30 this morning, and she'll have that meeting at Centro de la Raza. We will be there for that. It comes, though, on the heels of Wilson's decision to cancel the removal of a controversial homeless camp in Ballard. Residents have been asking the city there to remove the camp after there have been shootings there, assaults, and numerous break-ins at neighboring businesses. Wilson visited that camp the other day and said she needed more time to evaluate the city's approach to homelessness before clearing it out. Here was the reaction to that news from We Heart Seattle's Andrea Suarez. That's a nonprofit that works with the homeless.
It's a ticking time bomb for the community, whether it's fires, crime, assaults, theft of all kinds.
We heard that echoed by residents and neighboring businesses as well. On the campaign trail, Wilson said she will be looking for ways to get the homeless off the street and into shelters and housing.
People are really looking for meaningful solutions. We have rates of unsheltered homelessness higher than just about anywhere in the country.
The mayor's announcement again will be at 9:30 this morning, and we will be there.
All right, thanks, Luke. New report links a possible design flaw to a UPS plane crash in Kentucky. The National Transportation Safety Board says cracks in the left engine mount may have contributed. Boeing warned about the issue years ago, but said it would not affect safety. The MD-11 jet caught fire after takeoff from Louisville last November, killing 15 people. Investigators have not released a final cause. We are learning more this morning about a shooting in Seattle's High Point neighborhood in West Seattle late last night that injured one person. Investigators say a woman was in her car near the 6500 block of Sylvan Way Southwest. Multiple people opened fire, shooting up her car and hitting her in the arm. Other cars in at least one house were hit as well. Officers believe those suspects fired more than 60 rounds. They're investigating what led to the violence. Police have not released any information on a suspect. A driver on I-5 was able to keep their hands on the wheel despite being shot in the back yesterday. This happened near the West Seattle Bridge. Investigators say it started with a car following another car too closely and may have developed into a road rage incident. Here's KIRO 7 TV's Brandon Thompson.
They are still looking into everything that led up to these shootings here today in Seattle. So they're asking anybody who is driving along that stretch of I-5 before noon to reach out to them if they saw anything, especially if you saw a dark blue van.
Another gunshot victim was dropped off at Harborview about the same time, but police do not believe those incidents are related.
Keeping you informed since 1974. This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
I'm getting a workout this morning with all these great dance tunes. Nick,
I want to get you guys moving today.
Thank you. All right, we're fired up. It's Thursday, January 15th. Charlie has the day off. I'm Manda. Sully is here checking traffic on the threes and dancing intermittently. Producer David Burbank is in the studio with us. That's Nick Krisha running the board for us. And Jillian Raftery is at the news desk. Coming up this hour of the show, I had a chance to speak with two of the stars of A Beautiful Noise, the Neil Diamond musical, about their show. It's at the Paramount Theater. You'll hear their conversation. Plus, Charlie isn't here, but we do have a commentary from him. Charlie highlights how one local community is treating retail theft a bit differently. It's 7:08. Well, as President Trump warns of strong action against Iran, the top Democrat on the House Armed Services Committee says he doesn't believe the U.S. should get involved. Congressman Adam Smith tells CNN when the president makes these types of threats,
he follows through and does something. So I think it's reasonable to assume that sometime in the next several days to 1 week, President Trump will do some sort of military action in Iran. I think that is at least a 50-50 possibility at this point, given that pattern.
The president has said he would step in if Iran started executing anti-government protesters. In the Oval Office yesterday, he told reporters the killing in Iran is stopping. A man shot by a Border Patrol agent in Portland is now facing charges. Federal prosecutors say Luis Nino Moncada pleaded not guilty to aggravated assault and damaging federal property. His public defender entered the plea during a hearing yesterday. The FBI says there's no video of the shooting. It happened in a parking lot during an immigration stop. Agents say Nino Moncada and a passenger were in the country illegally and linked to a Venezuelan gang. Jury trial is now set for March. One small business owner says he and others are frustrated and feeling the brunt of property crimes in Seattle. KIRO 7 TV's Samantha Lomibau reports from Cinnaholic Cafe on Capitol Hill. Someone set a fire there on Christmas Day, and that person still has not been caught.
It took me about 10 hours to fully clean up the water damage and everything, from the extinguishing of the fire.
The fire marshal ruled it an arson.
Small businesses are not going to be able to sustain. It costs us a lot of money to do repairs. It's coming out of our own pockets.
James Propp hopes the suspect gets caught soon and wants more protection for small businesses.
Spud's Pizza Parlor in Tacoma has been hit by vandals again. The owner says the latest break-in happened January 3rd at that restaurant in the south end of Tacoma. Thieves pried open the door, tore through walls and ceilings, and ripped out the camera wires. They stole irreplaceable sports memorabilia, including signed jerseys from local legends. The owner says friends are watching auction sites, hoping those jerseys turn up. Spud's has been closed for more than 4 months after a grease fire in the kitchen caused significant damage. Well, it's business as usual at the Seahawks practice facility this week.
This is the message, right? It's the playoffs, but this is week 19.
Head coach Mike McDonald on the mindset ahead of Saturday's playoff game against the 49ers.
Start making it bigger, and you start including all the other stuff out there that takes you away from how we want to play and how we want to operate.
Yeah, it's a 5 p.m. kickoff Saturday. You can hear it all right here on KIRO News Radio. And the city says it's just a coincidence, but Seattle fans don't care. A popular tailgate spot in SoDo has been cleared after years being clogged by tents and debris. We get more from KIRO 7 TV's Allison Amoye.
Time
time to get pumped up.
That's my pose right there.
We caught up with one of the most recognizable Seahawks fans, a man known as Captain Seahawk, who says he put out a call on social media to clean up a street known as Hawk Alley, where tailgates were held in the past.
2 weeks ago, this was all full of tents and RVs.
Since COVID, Captain Seahawk says that environment has kept fans away from Hawk Alley.
We've known about it since December. So while it does happen to happen right before the playoffs, it was not planned for that.
We're hearing about a traffic stop from last month along I-5 in Marysville that was anything but routine. The woman a state trooper pulled over was naked.
He told her she was speeding, weaving in and out of her lane and following too close. And he also had a question.
Where are your clothes?
There.
Why aren't you wearing them?
Well.
He had her get dressed.
You got the pants on? Yep. Fantastic. Gotta step out of the car for me real quick, okay?
And the woman admitted she'd been out dancing in Seattle and had had some drinks and some marijuana. After a field sobriety test, the trooper arrested her for DUI. Frank Lindsay, KIRO Newsradio.
You can see the body cam footage at mynorthwest.com. It's 7:12. That's time for a check on the forecast. We're going to see sunshine by afternoon today. We're headed for a high around 50 again. Watch out for some fog in spots this morning. Tomorrow, Friday, turning sunny again and 51. The weekend looks fantastic for a mid-January weekend. 52 in the sunshine on Saturday, 51 on Sunday, and it looks like the sunny pattern will stick with us into the first part of next week. Right now it's cloudy and 49 in Seattle. And it's 7:13, time for traffic. We do that every 10 minutes, and you need help from Chris Sullivan because it's a mess.
Yeah, and I would say stay home. You want to go play golf?
Why not?
You go do that. Yeah, it's ugly out of the north end, and this is kind of the pattern I think we're going to see because it took a couple days back in August when we did this before, is that people just, they're like, we're throwing up their hands on I-5, and they're going to 405. And that's what we're seeing right now because it's worse than I-5. It is bumper to bumper from Linwood all the way down through Bothell. And we have about an hour and 15-minute trip from Everett into Bellevue. Got about an hour and 10-minute trip from Everett to Seattle. And the brake lights there really don't start until you're getting into Shoreline, but then they do extend down towards the U District now. So it's pretty ugly no matter which way you decide to go, but I think everyone's a lot of people are going to 405.
Didn't that happen in the summer, too?
Yeah, it did. Yeah. And again, today's day 4 out of this. I think people are kind of figuring out what they're doing a little bit better. But yeah, it's there's a little less congestion on I-5. It doesn't start as soon as it had the last couple of days. We'll see how it goes. It'll probably ebb and flow, but it's still not a pretty drive. Looking at northbound 167, it's still struggling right there in Auburn. We have a crash blocking the express toll lane, and we have we're going to give it about an hour drive from Puyallup to Renton. 35 of those minutes are from Auburn. Federal Way to Seattle's running under 50 minutes, which is great, so it's about 10 minutes faster than normal. And we haven't quite started to see the backup really approaching 520 as of yet. It's right there getting across the Ship Canal Bridge where we have those 2 left lanes blocked, so a little bit of a delay. The lake bridges are fine. Olympia to Tacoma's got nothing. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
Seattle's tradition for news and conversation. This is Seattle's Morning News with Charlie Harger and Manda Factor.
Well, today we're sitting down with the talented actors who bring Neil Diamond and Marcia to life in A Beautiful Noise, the Neil Diamond musical. Now playing at Seattle's Paramount Theater through the 18th. It's the true story of how a kid from Brooklyn became a show-stopping American powerhouse. With us in the studio, Nick Fratiani. You play Neil Diamond then. You may recognize Nick as the 2015 winner of American Idol, among other things. Mary Page Nance is here. You play Marcia, Neil Diamond's second wife, and you've been in the original cast of, 4 Broadway shows now?
Yes.
We might recognize you from some TV as well. It's great to have you both here. I have to ask you before I forget, Nick, is it true your first concert your parents took you to when you were 3 years old and it was Neil Diamond?
I just made that up. That's not, no, it is true. My dad was a huge Neil fan, and him and my mom brought me at 3. I was like, is that weird to bring a 3-year-old to a big concert like that? But yeah, that was my first.
Neil Diamond.
It was Neil Diamond. That was my first ever concert. I don't remember it, but I always remember asking my dad when I was, starting to play the guitar and becoming. I was like, what was the first thing I ever saw? Like, that got me into music. He was like, you saw Neil Diamond.
There you go.
And so yeah, it's very. very, very full circle.
I was going to
say
say,
the least, to be performing as.
What went through your mind when you found out you got the role?
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, I remember when I found out about the musical, it had already been in the process of being made, and I didn't know that. I saw it was something on Facebook, like the Neil Diamond musical is going to be coming to Broadway, or a musical is being made. And I texted my agent. I was like, you got to get me in for this. He's like, they already got their Neil it was supposed to be a pre-COVID show.
Right.
So I was so bummed out. I was like, I really felt like I was supposed to do it. And then a couple months later, he's like, I don't know if you'll be interested in this, but they're looking for an understudy alternate type situation. And I said, I just want to go in. I just want to audition for it and see what the musical's about, get the script, And yeah, and then I got it, and I was like, I just feel like I'm supposed to do this. And, it was hard for me a little bit to sit in the background, but I needed to learn. This is only my second musical I've ever done. So I got to learn so much from Will Swenson, who is the original, and get to learn from people like MP who have been doing this for their whole lives. So it was just the perfect situation.
I saw you shaking your head a little bit when he said, this is only my second musical. Apparently he was made for it.
Yes, he's unbelievable. He's unbelievable. He's such a good actor. I mean, he's also a rock star, which is what you need to be to play Neil Diamond.
Sure.
And I know what he's talking about in terms of, in those first early rehearsals. I remember in rehearsals, you would sit in the front of the stage and just film, which is not what you're supposed to do.
And I didn't know. Our stage manager had to be like, Nick, you have to stop filming the other actors. I'm like, oh, that's not
a thing.
I'm like, how am I supposed to learn what to do?
He would just be sitting. I'm talking we're in stage, the creative team
I'm
is behind.
embarrassed now.
I didn't even sitting in front like this.
Oh, that's
funny.
I was like,
God.
oh, honey.
Somebody should have told me besides Bonnie a month in.
He didn't know.
Oh, I'm actually getting anxiety thinking of it.
Okay, that's
But when you see him on stage, he's the most natural, incredible actor. He's so responsive to anything that's thrown at him. We both were understudies, and so the first time I went on as Marsha Murphy on Broadway, I got to do it with him, and it was so fun. And I'd never said the words out loud to him ever because he wasn't in any of my rehearsals until I was on Broadway playing a lead for the first time in my life. 30 of my closest friends were there, and I got to do it with him. And I just remember thinking, okay, if I just look at him, he's got me. And he did. Anything I gave him, he responded to. He worked with me. He was just so generous to work with. He's incredible.
How did you bring Marsha to life? How big an influence was she on Neil Diamond? My second wife, how big an influence was she on Neil Diamond?
I think she was a huge, huge influence on his life. When I did research on the actual person, so many people wrote about how funny she is, and how sort of she kind of was hanging with the guys a little bit. She was always in these rooms that were pretty impressive, I think, especially during the 60s for a woman to be in kind of that environment. So I kind of latched on to that aspect of her, and I think it's also just matches into what Anthony's written into the script, is that she's kind of a ball buster. She's like, all right, Neil, let's get it together. Come on, backup singers, Adam. Next time I see you, I want a full band. And he's like, okay, So I don't know. I think it echoes a lot of what happens in real life when the woman behind the man is really driving a lot of their success. And I just think they have a really supportive and beautiful relationship. And I can kind of tell that that's how Neil is with the women in his life. That's how he is with Katie. They're so wonderful together, who he's with now. And it's just been amazing to kind of get to know more about his life and the people in his life and get to know him. And it's been great. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure everyone listening or watching on YouTube now has done a Neil Diamond impersonation at some point, myself included, right?
Classic.
So how did you avoid looking like a Neil Diamond impersonator?
That's a great question. Because actually I remember the first time I saw myself do it, because when you do theater, it's another thing, being new to theater, I was like, I can't believe you can't see what you're doing. Nobody can film it. I'm like, how do I know what I'm doing out there? I just got to hope that people let you know. And I did, they filmed me doing my B-roll and when I took over the role on Broadway, and I was like, I feel like I'm trying to do too much. It was the first time I got to really see it. And I said, it's too much. I was doing some things that I felt were a little too on the nose, or intentionally trying to sound like him. So I started practicing so much about just sing with your own voice and get certain phrasings, but not overdoing it. So I tried to just find myself within his voice. Nobody's going to sing it like Neil. It's never going to be that good. So it's just finding yourself and listening to his music so much to the point to where I was singing it, I wasn't thinking about the phrasings and the the way he sang, it finally just got to a point now where I just sing his songs and it comes out and people are like, oh, you sound like him, but I'm not trying to.
I really appreciate you guys coming. I wish we had more time, but we do have to run. Go Hawks. Thank you for being a Seahawks fan while you're in town. Enjoy your time in Seattle. So nice to see you guys. I appreciate it. The show is A Beautiful Noise, the Neil Diamond musical. You can get tickets for A Beautiful Noise at stgpresents.org, the box office, or Ticketmaster. You guys take care. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
It's now 7:21. Again, the show runs through the 18th. A former British royal may be moving on at last.
I'm Vicki Barker at the Foreign Desk. Moving vans have been spotted outside the mansion in the grounds of Windsor Castle that's been his home for more than 20 years. And now British media report Andrew Mountbatten Windsor is expected to be out within weeks. Renovations on the former prince's new digs on King Charles's private Sandringham estate are still underway. But Andrew will reportedly move into temporary quarters there until his next and presumably last home is ready for him. Vicki Barker, CBS News.
Apologies in advance since it is breakfast time, but a viral video caught a couple planting their own hair in their food at a restaurant in Texas.
The video shows a woman pulling out strands of her hair at Fajita Mexican Grill in Stafford, southwest of Houston. The man she was with put the hairs in his food, then complained about them. The restaurant comped their meal, but later the owner's daughter, Laisha Ramirez, checked the surveillance video and posted it online.
I didn't want them to get away with going to another restaurant, doing the same thing, or if they've done the same thing in the past, we don't want them to continue hurting these small restaurants.
Instead of pressing charges, Ramirez opted for social media karma. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Someday, people will learn that there are cameras everywhere.
Wow.
Does remind you of that story had to have been over a decade ago when the person found supposedly a finger in their chili at Wendy's.
Yeah.
And it
was
not a real finger.
That's just
all these years I've been going around with a fly in my pocket just to stick in my soup.
It's 7:23. Time for traffic. We do that every 10 minutes. Take it away, Sully.
And we are definitely struggling out of the north end. We're up to an hour and a half now from Everett to Seattle and an hour and 20 minutes from Everett to Bellevue. There are two different stories here. 405, you're hitting the brakes right there at Linwood and you're on them past 522. For I-5, it's really not too bad through Linwood and Mount Lake Terrace until you hit about 175th. And then from there on down, it is going to be a struggle. And of course, with all those people on 405.
It's a reminder that, yes, it doesn't get there very often. And only when it really has to.
Really has to is going to last 5 months with a little break. And then 5 more months. So we've kind of settled into that pattern. Positive news for those of you stuck trying to get into and through the Auburn area on northbound 167. The crash we had blocking the express toll lane right there at Main Street is now off to the left shoulder, so no longer blocking. All 3 lanes are open. Have about an hour drive, though, from Puyallup to Renton. And then Renton to Bellevue is about a half an hour. Actually, not too bad. Federal Way to Seattle is about 55 minutes. Olympia to Tacoma's got no problems with 35 minutes. So all in all, I mean, other than that North End drive, we're doing about average or maybe a little better than today. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial 97.3 HD2.
Little fog in spots this morning, otherwise partly sunny by afternoon, 50. It's going to be dry for quite a while now. Tomorrow, sunshine by afternoon and 51. Saturday, 52. Perfect for a football game at Lumen Field. Sunshine on Sunday and Monday as well, those highs staying either side of 50. It's cloudy and 49 in Seattle right now. And coming up, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey will have a look at Saturday night's big Seahawks playoff game. And in today's 7:35 commentary, even though Charlie's not here, you're going to hear how Issaquah is cracking down on retail theft and what other Washington cities can do to learn from them. This is Seattle's Morning News.
This hour is brought to you by CM Heating.
2 wins away from the Super Bowl.
It's time to eat, boys.
The first obstacle, a hated rival.
Purdy has time, throws to the middle, intercepted.
Victim to some of the greatest playoff moments in Seahawks history.
Welcome to the dark side.
Richard Sherman tips it.
Whole city going up like it's our time.
Seahawks, 49ers.
All teed up.
The divisional round of the NFL playoffs.
You know how we do it. Better bring your hard hat when you can illumine.
Saturday night, kickoff at 5 on the home of the Seahawks. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
A new year means more than just a clean calendar. It's new goals, opportunities, and fresh momentum for your business. Are you with the right bank to set you up for success? WaFd Bank has you covered with free business checking, credit cards, lines of credit, and other services to move your business forward. WaFd offers the latest in payment processing and cash flow tools for just the right fit to meet your goals. Plus, WaFd Bank is an SBA preferred lender. WaFd Bank, built for business. Visit wafdbank.com. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Loan subject to credit approval. Non-sufficient funds charges may apply.
Adrian here from Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Winter might seem like an odd time to replace your windows, but now is when you get the best deals. Our Leak Armor installation team will keep your home warm and dry while installing beautiful, new energy-efficient windows. You'll feel the difference right away. Quieter rooms, lower energy bills, and a more comfortable home.
Right now, save $600 on windows and $1,500 on doors from Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Plus, enjoy 12 months same-as-cash financing. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com.
All right, here's a quick confession. The reason Nick, my wife, is going to Longevity Medical Clinic is because why?
I got sick of watching you sleep at night when I was awake.
Wait a minute. Wait. Here's what would happen. I'd be asleep because I've got my hormones balanced thanks to Longevity Medical Clinic. I'm asleep, and then Nick would go, "Are you asleep? Are you sleeping? That's not fair. I can't sleep." I'm like, "So you're going to wake me up?"
Yes, because I didn't want you to have more energy than I would the next day, and I was up all night.
So what did I say to you? I said, so go to the Longevity Medical Clinic. Do the same thing I did. Get your hormones balanced. You'll sleep better, right?
And I did.
Right. You don't have to wake me up anymore and go, "It's not fair that you're sleeping."
I know.
But didn't you see that it wasn't fair that you were waking me up?
Yes, because now you're the one taking the dogs out because I'm still asleep in the morning.
So we're both getting good night's sleep. We're both getting lots of energy, and we're happy.
You want me to tell you why? Because my hormones are now balanced.
Okay, I don't want to hear about your hormones right now. So be like Nick and get a free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? If you've been injured in a car accident, you have two choices. Handle everything yourself or hire an experienced attorney. Go it alone, and you'll be on the phone with insurance adjusters, chasing medical records, fighting for lost wages, and trying to figure out what your case is really worth. Hire the right attorney, and they take all that off your plate so you can focus on getting better. Harold Carr Law Offices has a dedicated team of 48 people and more than 35 years of experience handling car accident cases right here in our community. Harold Carr Law Offices handles big cases and small ones while still treating their clients like family. Here's the difference they make. They save you time, reduce your stress, and get you significantly more money than you'd ever get on your own. Harold Carr Law Offices fights for you at no out-of-pocket cost to you. If you're in a car accident, call them right away. Visit carlaw.com. 2 R's in car. Car accident? Call Carr.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
This winter, drive with confidence in a Subaru from Subaru of Puyallup. From rainy commutes to icy roads, Subaru's legendary all-wheel drive and advanced safety are built for our winters. Subaru of Puyallup is known for something even better, a stress-free car buying experience. No pressure, no games. Just friendly Subaru experts helping you find the right vehicle at the right price. Start shopping now and see our stress-free pricing exclusively at SubaruofPuyallup.com. Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership, part of the Harnish Auto family.
Hey, it's Jason Rantz. Our local tax expert Greg Nunn wants taxpayers to know the IRS is now going after older cases very aggressively. If you received Form CP-504 from the IRS, do not ignore it. Be proactive and resolve your situation with Greg Nunn, N-U-N-N, None Better Tax Resolution.
It's the Clearance Savings Spectacular at Olympic Hot Tub. We're slashing prices on hot tubs, saunas, and swim spas. Even bigger savings on floor models. Plus, no interest through 2031. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue,
Seattle's morning news.
Good morning, it's 7:30. President Trump has threatened to invoke the Insurrection Act, allowing him to deploy troops as protests against immigration and customs enforcement persist in Minneapolis. Trump made the threat after a federal officer shot a man in the leg in Minneapolis yesterday after being attacked with a shovel and a broom handle. Lori Levinson is a Loyola law professor and former federal prosecutor and says it's very rare for that act to be invoked.
I want to emphasize that even if there's a protest that has violence that comes with it, that doesn't equate with an insurrection or rebellion. So that's why the act is so rarely used.
We are just getting word Seattle Fire is responding to a gas leak near the stadiums. At least one building is being evacuated. This is a developing situation, but crews are asking people to steer clear of the 500 block of Occidental Avenue South. Again, this is because of a gas leak. We're now hearing the severed gas line has been secured, though, but still there's some activity in that area. Firefighters are ventilating the buildings before people can go back inside. Well, strap in. Less than 60 hours from now, the Seahawks take on the San Francisco 49ers in one of the NFL's fiercest rivalries. The noise at Saturday's game could literally move the ground. And KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey is here to explain.
Yeah, we all know, especially you, Manda. You know how loud it gets at Lumen Field. You have season tickets. Do you wear ear protection or anything like that? You just go for it?
That would be too smart. No.
I know.
I just go for it.
I feel every time I go, but my ears ring for at least a day after, and any doctor would tell us, don't do that, but I don't care. It's awesome. Scientists have installed earthquake monitoring equipment now at Lumen Field to measure the impact for Saturday's game. They think there could be another beastquake. Steve Rabel on the call.
From right to left, turn and hand to Lynch, left side. Finds a little bit of a hole, keeps his legs moving. He's across the 40, midfield, 45, he's on the run, Lynch. 40, pushes him at 35, look at him go. He's down to 20, 15, he could go. He is going to go. Touchdown, Seahawks. Oh my word. Marshawn Lynch. Unbelievable!
Of course, that was Marshawn and his 67-yard touchdown run against the Saints back in 2011. They had a losing record that season, but they still went to the playoffs and beat the Saints. Pacific Northwest Seismic Network Director Harold Tobin says they recorded that run kind of by accident.
That one was kind of just serendipity that we discovered that there was a seismic signal when that happened on one of our regular stations that was across the street, actually.
Yeah, so for Saturday, they're going to set up 6 seismometers around the stadium to see what happens. They're going to share the results online. All right, meantime. Hey, you know what? There have been some sightings of 49er fans in Seattle doing some touristy things.
Already?
Apparently. Yeah, apparently a co-pilot just happened to capture some of the moments. You know, like what would you do as a tourist if you take a look on our YouTube feed? You would throw a salmon at Pike Place Market, right? Well, oh my gosh, look at that. There's a 49ers fan, and he's wearing a cardigan, and his face is painted, and it looks like he's doing it wrong. He's not catching it. The salmon is just hitting him in his face. Well, look, what else could they? Bainbridge Ferry Ride, I think, is something I always tell people to do. Go across the water. Whoa, slipping on the ferry. And is that an orca laughing at that 49ers
Or ready to eat him.
Oh, geez,
That's
Louise.
the most cartoonish one I've ever seen.
Jeez Louise. Well, look, what else can you do as a tourist? Was one other thing you got to do,
You got to
right?
go to the Space Needle.
Got to go to the Space Needle. Unless you're scared of heights like this 49ers fan, and he's hugging a tree outside the Space Needle.
It's
on
not
the
even
ground.
up high. Just the thought of the heights are scary.
Just the thought of the heights can't do it. Well, you know, they gave it a good try, these 49ers fans. It's not looking good for them. Kickoff is 5 p.m. Saturday. You can catch the game right here on KIRO Newsradio. Hey, coming up at 8:30, you yell at the games. You all yell at the games. We just talked about it before we came on this segment. Do you know how to yell the right way, though?
I don't know. I just kind of go all out.
Go for it, right?
Yeah.
I do, because I went to a voice coach to learn how to do it. I'm going to share the best way.
Awesome.
Whether you're at the game, that helps, right? Or if you're going to a party like at David's house and you just want to belt one out and get really loud, I'm going to teach you how to do it coming
These
up at 8:30.
parties are crazy. All right. You posted did you post those on X so everyone can see your
Yes, thank you. There's 4 49ers fans. Those photos are on X.
All right, Luke, thank you.
You bet.
Let's check traffic. We have lots to talk about, and Chris Sullivan has our update.
And we've settled in on about an hour and 20-minute trip from Linwood down into Seattle today because of the loss of the express lanes. And so we are bumper to bumper from basically 175th all the way down across the Ship Canal Bridge. 405 is bumped bumper to bumper away from Linwood. It's about 10 minutes faster, though. Linwood to Bellevue is at about an hour and 20. Still well behind schedule for either one of those drives, but that's our life that we've gotten used to, and we're going to have to stay getting used to as we work our way through. Renton to Bellevue is about 35 minutes now. The S-curves are very active, and then you see a little bit over the top of I-90. Behind that, the Valley Freeway is not bad. Back under 30 minutes out of Auburn, and we're back under an hour from Puyallup, so that's pretty decent. There are some brake lights down the South Hill, a little bit westbound as you approach I-5 on 512 there. Tacoma looks really good. Federal Way to Seattle's running just a hair under an hour, maybe about 55 minutes. The West Seattle Bridge in the eastbound direction is also a little slow, but nothing you can't handle. This report brought to you by the Pro Shop. Gear up for the playoffs. Shop postseason gear in store at Lumen Field or the Landing in Renton.
This is the city's longest-running radio news show, Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
Well, it is 7:35. That's time for a commentary encore. Here's Charlie Harger.
The Issaquah Police Department put out a Facebook post last month that made me take note. They ran a shoplifting sting at Marshall's and Home Goods in the Highlands, and here's the line that got me. A common reaction we get when arresting shoplifters is their shock and surprise to learn they are really under arrest and will be booked into jail. Shock, surprise, they're going to jail for stealing. These aren't dumb people. They've done the math. In most cities around here, you can walk into a store, fill a bag, and walk out. Maybe a security guard yells. Maybe a cop shows up 45 minutes later with a citation. Maybe you get a court date you skip. Maybe a warrant gets issued that nobody serves. At every step, the odds favor walking away. Thieves know this. They've learned it. Then they try it in Issaquah. Different rules. Issaquah has its own jail. They run stings with loss prevention. They book you on the spot. And suddenly, all those outstanding warrants from Seattle and Tacoma and Everett pop up in the system. Shoplifting in Issaquah dropped 15% in 2024. Not a coincidence. Some background. King County lifted its misdemeanor booking restrictions last February. During COVID, the jail wouldn't take low-level offenders, staffing shortages, capacity issues. Fine. But that ended over a year ago. Seattle can book shoplifters now. The policy changed. The culture didn't, and we're paying for it. Fred Meyer is closing stores across the region, and theft was a major factor. Nobody who shopped at one of those stores is surprised. I talked about this last year. It was the drugs driving the problem, and it still is. But it's also the stealing. And it's also the complete absence of accountability that lets both spiral out of control. When the same people walk in day after day and walk out with merchandise, the store eventually does the math, too. They leave. Washington loses $3 billion a year to retail theft. We run 40 to 48% higher than the national average. Washington consistently ranks number one nationally for retail theft impact. Target closed stores. Seattle lost all its 24-hour pharmacies. The stores that stay open are starting to look like prison commissaries. Everything behind plexiglass, push a button, wait for someone to unlock it. Detergent, toothpaste, deodorant, razors, socks, underwear. Is this really who we are now? Issaquah proved it doesn't have to be this way. Enforce the law, and people stop breaking it. Not because they suddenly become model citizens, because they learn the odds changed. The rest of us have the same tools now. We have jail beds. We have laws on the books. We have stores begging for help. Only thing missing is the will to act. We get what we tolerate, and right now we're tolerating way too much. Shoplifters in Issaquah were shocked when they got arrested. Maybe the rest of us should be shocked that in a lot of places around here, they wouldn't be.
That is the commentary for today. You can find all of Charlie's commentaries at mynorthwest.com. You can comment there, or if you want to hit the text line, you can do that too. 888-973-5476. It's 7:40. Sully, what's coming up in traffic?
Well, we're going to take a look at the 35-minute delays coming down out of Snohomish County. We'll break it down next.
2 wins away from the Super Bowl.
It's time to eat, boys.
The first obstacle, a hated rival.
Purdy has time, throws to the middle, intercepted.
Victim to some of the greatest playoff moments in Seahawks history.
Welcome to the dark side.
Richard Sherman tips it.
Whole city going up like it's our time.
Seahawks 49ers.
All teed up.
The divisional round of the NFL playoffs.
You know how we do it. Better bring your hard hat when you cut a lumen.
Saturday night, kickoff at 5 on the home of the Seahawks. KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these 3 books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Paid political announcement.
More than half of short-term rentals across Washington are booked by Washingtonians. Families traveling for their children's tournaments and games. Firefighters fighting wildfires. Traveling nurses providing critical care. Every day, short-term rentals are helping make travel more affordable. Legislators in Olympia are considering increasing taxes on short-term rentals. But with the cost of everything going up, we can't take another price increase. Keep travel affordable for us. Paid for by Airbnb helps our state thrive host pack.
It's 7:43, and that's time to take a look at the roads. We check traffic every 10 minutes on the 3s, and here is Chris Sullivan.
And like a broken record, we're starting with the drive out of the Linwood area. Because of the loss of the southbound I-5 express lanes, we're seeing travel times of about an hour and 20 from Linwood to Seattle or Linwood to Bellevue, so 35 minutes slower than you might expect. There's for I-5, it's a really long gap from Linwood all the way down till you get to about 175th, and then you hit the brakes bumper to bumper all the way down across the Ship Canal Bridge. 99 is also filled in from well before Green Lake all the way into South Lake Union. 405 is bumper to bumper from Linwood down through Bothell before getting better, but really heavy brake lights for you guys there. There's also a little bit on the trestle as well up in that Snohomish County area, and also eastbound Highway 2 is a little slow getting into Monroe, but nothing you can't handle. Rest of the map is actually okay. I mean, the lake bridges are relatively good. For the 90 corridors, a little heavier than 520. Rented to Bellevue is up to about a 40-minute trip. That's about average. Behind that, the Valley Freeway is about 50, which is about average. And we're under an hour from Federal Way to Seattle with the brake lights there from the north end of Boeing Field right up across I-90 into downtown. So all in all, really not all that bad. And just watch out. There is some a little bit of braking in and around the stadium district right now, right around Lumen Field as they continue to work with the gas line that they're working with there. It's really primarily on Occidental, so right next to the stadium, so not having a huge impact. But
it sounds like they have the line secured.
Well, that's good, but there is a little extra activity around there on First Ave, so just keep your eye out for that. Not really causing a huge problem, but I don't want you to be surprised. This report brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Save $600 off windows, $1,500 off doors at Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Plus, enjoy 12 months same as cash financing. Don't wait to visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
Our forecast, beautiful weather for this time of year. Some fog in spots this morning. Otherwise, sunshine for the afternoon, warming up to 50. Tomorrow, sunshine by afternoon and 51. And the weekend for the big football game on Saturday looks terrific. Sunny and 52. Same deal on Sunday. We don't have any rain in the forecast and only a slight chance on Wednesday. But until then, we're going to see lots of sunshine. It's cloudy and 49 in Seattle right now. And coming up, CBS White House reporter Aaron Navarro breaks down the latest moves between the Trump administration and Iran here on Seattle's Morning News.
For a long time, I thought retirement planning was mostly about hitting a number. Get there, and then life starts. Hi, this is Ursula Royteen. What Trajan Wealth helped me see is that the number is really only part of the story. At Trajan Wealth, their advisors are fiduciaries, which means they're obligated to put your needs first, and they start by asking how you actually want your life to feel. When Mark and I sat down with them, we talked about having more time with family, more time to travel, and how to make thoughtful choices without feeling like we had to put today on hold for tomorrow. I have goals for today and for when I retire. If you're ready to start the new year with straight talk and thoughtful guidance, call Trajan Wealth today and schedule a free meeting. Trajan, spelled Trajan. Call 206-656-3300. That's 206-656-3300 or visit TrajanWealth.com.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC. SEC registered investment advisor. Client paid advertisement. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
Hey, it's John Curley with Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. Doc, I heard that 50% of Americans have their lenses replaced by the time they're 75.
That's exactly right, John. As we near 50, our eye's natural lens starts to become dysfunctional. If you've now added readers to your need for glasses and contacts, it's a sign the quality and function of your natural lens is fading, and it's a steady decline towards cataracts.
Don't go another 20 plus years with poor vision, hassling with contacts and readers. Do what I did. Choose a quick, painless refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE and start enjoying great vision now.
Our new lens technology is truly amazing. After replacing over 100,000 lenses, we have the experience to guide each patient to their best solution, even if that's recommending you wait a little while before RLE.
K2 Vision RLE can restore distance and near vision permanently, plus never develop a cataract. Read the reviews and schedule a free Zoom consultation now at k2visionrle.com.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
Aren't you the company that gives away free furnaces?
That's us. Buy a qualifying high-efficiency cooling system and the furnace is free.
Wow.
Yeah, and our home comfort advisors are tax credit and rebate specialists, so they'll handle the rebate for you.
Go to CM Heating for better comfort, lower bills, and a free furnace you'll love for years. Get your free estimate for furnace replacement at cmheating.com. And remember, for furnaces, fireplaces, hot water, and total home comfort, including electrical,
there's no beating CM Heating.
Guys, low energy, low drive, or strength not what it used to be? For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Washington, start with a free T-check exam and consultation to get real answers. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. Call 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Terms apply. Must medically qualify.
Reliable, refreshing, and ready every morning. Seattle's Morning News.
It is 7:48 on your Thursday morning. Iran's judiciary said today a man feared to be facing execution would not face the death penalty after all. President Trump welcomed this as good news, having said he had learned the regime had stopped killing protesters. Joining us now to help break it down is CBS White House reporter Aaron Navarro. Aaron, can you remind us who this was facing execution and why? What did he do?
This is a protester named Irfan Soltani, who Iran, it was reported, was going to be the first protester to be executed yesterday, Wednesday. President Trump announced to reporters that that was not going to happen. And a top Iranian official during a Fox News interview last night downplayed reports that there were going to be any executions. This was Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi, who kind of backtracked and said that was never going to be the plan, though reports had indicated Soltani's family said that, from what they knew, that he was going to be executed. But that seems to not be the case, at least as of now, and President Trump posted about it this morning saying, quote, "This is good news. Hopefully it will continue."
Do we think that decision was a result of U.S. pressure?
Certainly there's been a lot of U.S. pressure, but it hasn't been set out right by Iranian officials. That being said, we had seen some activity yesterday that suggested the U.S. military strike was potentially on the precipice of happening. You saw a security level in the Al Udeid Air Base rise, as well as personnel from that air base leave, given that Iran had retaliated in the past U.S. strikes by attempting to strike that air base. And you saw airspace in Iran restricted for a couple of hours. But after President Trump announced both, yes, Soltani not being executed, as well as claiming, quote, the killing in Iran overall is stopping in regards to protesters, you've seen these kind of escalatory measures be brought down this morning.
That was all quite ominous as it was happening yesterday. President Trump has said he would want military action in Iran to be swift and decisive. Do we know what he means by that?
No, in part because he's kept a lot of the cards in regards to Iran and also Venezuela before we saw the capture of Nicolas Maduro very close to the chest. From what we know, it's a very small team. It's not necessarily going through the usual channels in terms of State Department, in terms of looping them in on potential operations. That being said, airstrikes are, from what we've heard from White House sources, just one of the options on the table. Cyber attacks, as well as what some defense officials have called psychological attacks, though they did not specify what that could look like, are on the table, as well as diplomacy, though President Trump earlier this week said that any planned talks with Iranian officials were canceled. We will see if there's any developments going at the end of this week, given that he's heard that the killing of protesters in Iran has stopped.
One of our Congressman members, Adam Smith, believes it's a 50-50 chance there will be some military action in Iran. What are you hearing?
Nothing much from the White House, as again, they've kept it pretty close to the chest. That being said, you've had moments of calm like this followed by military strikes. That's what we started to see, I believe, back in June before the U.S. struck nuclear sites in Iran. You saw President Trump talk a little bit more about diplomacy going into that weekend, and then the secret operation taking place. Again, the position of President Trump, the White House, is that any type of strike they have is classified. They wouldn't necessarily telegraph when it would happen, but certainly national security reporters, White House reporters, those in the Middle East are remaining on edge to see what President Trump decides to do.
Before I let you go, I want to talk about Denmark and Greenland. U.S. officials met with leaders from Denmark and Greenland yesterday to talk about the president's desire to take control of the island. What do we know about that meeting?
The Vice President's office and Secretary of State Marco Rubio's office have declined to share readouts. I was at the press conference with the Danish and Greenlandic foreign ministers after the meeting. They didn't necessarily share too many details on what the U.S. said, but reiterated that there are still, quote, fundamental disagreements with the U.S., but that the conversation overall was respectful. They reiterated that they have red lines on any sort of takeover of Greenland, and that President Trump's concerns about Russia or China are, somewhat valid, but they are seeing no immediate threats from either of those countries to take over Greenland before, in President Trump's words, the U.S. does. That being said, they also said there is a working group with high-level officials from Greenland, Denmark, and the U.S. To talk about this issue going further, but it seems that they left that meeting with kind of an agree to disagree type of stance, declaring that they are unhappy with some of the president's rhetoric.
All right. We'll see. Aaron, thank you so much for your time this morning. We appreciate you. CBS White House reporter Aaron Navarro. 7:53, time for traffic now, and for that we turn to Chris Sullivan.
And we have stabilized into a typical Thursday out there, with the exception of our drive out of Snohomish County. We all know what we're dealing with there, and the travel time is reflective. We're about an hour and 40 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. Maybe a little bit less than that on I-5, depending on how you hit it, because you don't really start hitting the backup until you're around run 175th and Shoreline, a little bit further south than we've gotten used to. But for 405, it's bumper to bumper all the way through Bothell. So hour and 20-minute trips away from Linwood, way behind schedule. 99 southbound also caught up in this. I think if you've used that as your normal go-to, you've gotten used to it, jumping bumper to bumper from basically Green Lake all the way into South Lake Union. Going the other direction, we're 20 minutes faster than normal. Federal Way to Seattle at 55 minutes. There's about an 8 10-minute delay on northbound 5 going up to the Ship Canal Bridge. Now on northbound, where we actually have the 2 left lanes blocked. Lake bridges are still doing okay. Renton to Bellevue's not too bad at about 40 minutes. Behind that, the Valley Freeway's at about 50-52, which is pretty decent. There is a little eastbound slowing on 16 past Cheney Stadium. We normally see that approaching 8 a.m. Not too bad, though. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Seen some fog in spots this morning. Otherwise, a nice day, sunshine and 50. It's 49 right now. Sully, what's coming up on your choke point this morning?
Well, we're going to take a look at the Edgewater Bridge up in the Muckle-Teal Everett. And talk about projects that are kind of snake bit. This is one of them.
All right. And Luke Ducey has a preview of Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson's big announcement on transited shelter coming up at 8:04.
If you've saved more than $300,000, you may have a big problem in retirement, and it's taxes. Taxes on your IRA and 401k withdrawals, taxes on your Social Security benefits, taxes on your investment income, and more. And when you add it all up, this could be your largest expense in retirement. That's why it's critical you get in front of this now. Hi, it's Charlie Harger. Discover the strategies that could significantly reduce your taxes in retirement with a free, customized retirement tax savings analysis. It's from Boss Retirement Solutions, who has 2 locations in Seattle. Schedule your free analysis now by calling 206-210-1350. That's 206-210-1350. Don't overpay your taxes to the government. Call 206-210-1350.
Advisory services offered through Boss Retirement Advisors. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. No statement contained herein should constitute tax, legal, or investment advice.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
When it comes to Subarus, Carter Subaru stands alone, literally. They're Seattle's only Subaru dealership with more than 700 Subarus ready to go. Looking for a Crosstrek? The 2025 Crosstrek is just 1.9% financing for 72 months. That's serious value on a great vehicle built for the Northwest. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline or Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 1/31/26.
It's 2026. New year, new you, new resolutions to keep for a couple weeks. Whether you're trying to eat healthy in the new year or not, your best choice is Omaha Steaks. They have multiple bundles to choose from. They have an all-protein pack if you're trying to slim down or eat clean, consisting of butcher's cut filet mignon, air-chilled boneless chicken breast, boneless pork chops, classic burgers, and more. Everything you need for your freezer and meal prep. Or grab one of the other bundles that include potatoes au gratin and caramel apple tartlets. That sounds good. Omaha Steaks offers unrivaled quality and variety, and every bite is backed by their 100% guarantee. Every steak is perfectly aged to maximize tenderness and hand-cut by master butchers in America's heartland. Save big on gourmet gifts and more holiday favorites with Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com, and for an extra $35 off, use promo code SKY at checkout. Terms apply. See site for details. That's omahasteaks.com, promo code SKY.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Landlords, listen up. John Curley here from Madrona Financial. Is your property making you money? Madrona's Landlord Exit Workshop is a free event designed to help landlords understand the true numbers behind their rental properties. It's happening in person this Thursday, 3 p.m. at UW Tacoma. Don't miss Madrona's free Landlord Exit Workshop this Thursday at 3 p.m. at the UW Tacoma campus. Space is limited to RSVP. Call 833-673-7373. Reserve your spot now or sign up at madronafinancial.com/events.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net.
Day and Night gives you a free furnace or water heater with installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace or water heater from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
DayandNight.net.
She's a gold and platinum selling icon, a modern-day Renaissance woman, an international treasure. Judy Collins brings her legendary voice to Jazz Alley, January 22nd through 25th. Get tickets now at jazzalley.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Steve Kathan. President Trump has threatened to invoke the Insurrection Act to justify deploying troops as protests against ICE persist in Minneapolis. Legal analyst Lori Levinson.
I want to emphasize that even if there's a protest that has violence that comes with it, that doesn't equate with an insurrection or rebellion. So that's why the act is so rarely used.
There were new protests in Minneapolis last night after an ICE agent shot and wounded a man in the leg. The U.S. military says it seized a Venezuelan-linked oil tanker in the Caribbean this morning. Today, President Trump meets with Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado. Foreign policy analyst Oliver Stunkel.
A lot of Venezuelans believe that Trump would seek to install the opposition leader who's thought to have won the 2024 presidential election. However, he has not done that. More than that, he's actually actively undermined her and said that she's currently not able to govern. She doesn't have, quote unquote, respect in the country.
The U.S. is imposing a new round of sanctions on officials in Iran accused of repressing protests in this week's deadly crackdown. Prosecutors here at home have charged 20 people, including 15 former college players, in an alleged scheme to fix basketball games. CBS's Scott McFarland.
Players at some major college basketball programs have been bribed, allegedly, to tank their performances to enrich sports gamblers. These are some rather large school programs at which this is allegedly happening, from the Big East, schools like St. John's and DePaul and Georgetown.
NASA says the astronaut with a medical issue who just returned to Earth with 3 others from the space station is fine and in good spirits. Our space consultant, Bill Harwood.
Yeah, they said this wasn't an emergency return, but obviously it was to get the astronaut back on the ground as soon as reasonably possible so they could carry out more thorough tests than they can do in orbit.
California Governor Gavin Newsom is blocking Louisiana's effort to extradite a doctor accused of mailing abortion pills out of state.
Louisiana wants to extradite Dr. Remy Cueto, a Bay Area doctor who allegedly provided abortion pills to a Louisiana woman in 2023. Louisiana Attorney General Liz Murrill.
It's illegal drug trafficking, and we will continue to prosecute those doctors, and we will also continue to pursue actions against the states that are shielding those doctors and allowing them to illegally try to nullify our laws.
Governor Newsom says California will not allow extremist politicians from other states to punish its doctors for providing abortion care. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
And checking Wall Street, right now the Dow Jones Industrial Average up 360. This is CBS News.
I'm Andrew Garrett. Follow and listen to The Takeout on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
It's 8:03. Coming up in just a moment, a major announcement expected from Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson. But first, let's check traffic. We do that every 10 minutes for you, and here's Sully.
And no surprises out there today on this Thursday. I think we're getting used to the pattern without having the express lanes in the southbound direction during the morning commute. We've got about an hour and 15-minute trip to an hour and 20-minute trip from Linwood to Seattle or Linwood to Bellevue. So it's kind of settled into that pattern. And, of course, just remember the express lanes will remain northbound 24/7 through this.
It's a better system while we have the closures in place.
Again, hour and 15-minute trips from Linwood to Seattle or Linwood to Bellevue. Rest of the map, about average. Federal Way to Seattle's running 20 minutes faster than normal at 55 minutes. That's because the express lanes are open northbound. There's no forced merge there as you get into downtown. There is about a 10-minute delay getting out of Seattle, heading up to the Ship Canal Bridge where we actually do have the construction zone blocking the 2 left-hand lanes. Rented to Bellevue is running right around 40 minutes. The Valley Freeway, 50 behind it. The Olympia to Tacoma Drive looks pretty good, and the Lake Bridges are still in pretty good shape, though westbound 90 does have a little bit more action than 520. This report brought to you by the KIRO Newsradio app. Text app to 888-973-5476. Download the KIRO Newsradio app. Listen to your favorite shows. Get the latest news and updates right to your phone.
Good morning. It is 8:04. It's Seattle's morning news for January 15th. Charlie Harger has the day off. I'm Manda Factor. In just about an hour and a half, Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson is expected to make major announcements on her plans for city transit and shelter for the homeless. We get a preview live from KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey.
that Wilson will be announcing what she says is a significant action on transit and shelter for the homeless, combining those two issues into one meeting. We're going to have to wait, though, for specifics until about 9:30 this morning. We'll have that for you as soon as it comes out. On the campaign trail, Wilson said she will be looking for ways to get homeless off the street and into shelters and housing.
People are really looking for meaningful solutions. We have rates of unsheltered homelessness higher than just about anywhere in the country.
The announcement, though, does come on the heels of Wilson's decision to cancel the removal of a controversial homeless camp in Ballard. Residents there have been asking the city to remove the camp after there had been shootings, assaults there, numerous break-ins in neighboring businesses. Well, Wilson visited that camp yesterday and said she needed more time to evaluate the city's approach to homelessness. Here was the reaction to that news from We Heart Seattle's Andrea Suarez, who works directly with the homeless.
It's a ticking time bomb for the community, whether it's fires, crime, assaults, theft of all kinds.
Many residents and businesses also agreed with that as well. The mayor's announcement, again, 9:30 this morning. We will be there. Amanda?
Thank you. Seattle firefighters have secured a gas leak near the stadiums this morning. At least one building had to be evacuated. It's now being ventilated before people can go back inside. No injuries reported. Federal investigators say a structural flaw may have played a role in a deadly UPS crash. The National Transportation Safety Board reports cracks in the assembly holding the left engine could be a factor. That flaw was flagged in a Boeing service letter in 2011, but the company said it wasn't a flight safety risk. The MD-11 cargo jet crashed in Louisville last November, killing 15 people. The official cause has not yet been determined. More than 60 rounds fired, one person injured in a shooting overnight in Seattle. This happened just after 11 o'clock in the High Point area on Sylvan Way Southwest. Officers arrived to find a woman shot in the arm. She said multiple people opened fire on her car. They also hit other cars and at least one house. Police have not said what led to the incident, and they've not released any information about the suspected shooters. A driver on I-5 was able to keep their hands on the wheel despite being shot in the back yesterday. This happened near the West Seattle Bridge. Investigators say it started with a car following another car too closely and may have developed into a road rage incident. Here's KIRO 7 TV's Brandon Thompson.
They are still looking into everything that led up to the shooting here today in Seattle. So they're asking anybody who is driving along that stretch of I-5 before noon to reach out to them if they saw anything, especially if you saw a dark blue van.
Another gunshot victim was dropped off at Harborview at about the same time, but police do not believe those incidents are related.
Keeping you informed since 1974.
This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
Now I recognize it. We were over here playing Name That Tune, Nick. We've had a wide variety of music today. I appreciate it. All right, it's 8:07.
All right, which hat?
Which hat?
Which hat is it on yours?
Is that what that
That's
is?
what I was...
It's the old Six Flags song you heard on the commercial.
Right, but isn't that one of the ones they do for like the Mariners hat?
It's very similar, yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I was like, number three.
All right, thank you. It's Thursday. It's January 15th. Charlie is off today. I'm Amanda. Sully is here checking your traffic every 10 minutes. Producer David Burbank is in the studio with us. That's Nick Krasha. He's picking the music and running the board. And Jillian Raftery is at the news desk in for Katrina. Coming up this hour, Chris, you have a choke point?
Yeah, I do. Going to take a look at a project that isn't being plagued by overruns and problems with the contractor. It's all just stuff that happened.
Yeah.
And we're going to break that down. It's a really important project up in the Everett-Mukilteo area.
All right. Also, G. Scott's going to stop by with why trash talk between the Seahawks and the Niners is a good thing. It's 8:09. It's 8 years in prison for a Federal Way man after a drug deal went wrong. KIRO News Radio's Jillian Raftery explains.
Investigators say Daniel Lopez paid two men $2,500 expecting a delivery of cocaine. When that didn't come, he found the wife of one of those people and kidnapped her at gunpoint. He held her for 2 days in Seattle before his associates drove her and her husband's co-conspirator to the Mexican border and forced them to walk across. The woman was picked up by authorities there and sent to her country of origin, Guatemala. She apparently didn't have legal status in the U.S., so investigators here checked she was safe and then barred her from coming back. Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Quite a surprise for a cleaning crew that showed up to a home in Burien yesterday and found what looked like a pipe bomb in the garage. According to KIRO 7 TV, explosives experts with the King County Sheriff's Office responded. They blocked off the streets and disposed of that device. Seattle police are asking for help finding someone who set fire to a Capitol Hill bakery on Christmas Day. We get more from KIRO 7 TV's Samantha Lomibao.
James Propp still in disbelief watching this surveillance video. It shows a man setting fire to his Capitol Hill bakery, Cinnaholic, on Christmas Day.
It was pretty clear that he had a bag in hand of cardboard, boxes and stuff, and was just sitting there feeding the fire until it lit. And once it lit and it flamed up, this individual just got on his scooter.
The shop, usually filled with the scent of cinnamon rolls, now reeking of smoke. Flames charred the outside wall and blew out the window above it. Firefighters put it out before it could spread inside.
Stealing cars, packages, and stuff out of someone's garage, all in a day's work for two thieves in Snoqualmie. Police say the crimes were all caught on Ring doorbell camera footage Monday. The two prowled a car in the Ridge area and found a garage door opener. Investigators say they promptly started taking stuff out of the garage. They left and came back to steal the Audi SUV that was in the garage. Other cameras showed them stealing packages. When officers caught up with them later that day, they were in a second stolen car, which had stolen license plates. They apparently confessed and gave up the location of that Audi. Well, scientists expect the crowd at Saturday's Seahawks playoff game to generate so much energy they've installed, once again, earthquake measuring equipment at Lumen Field.
The inspiration?
Oh, my word!
Seahawks running back Marshawn Lynch's 67-yard touchdown in the 2011 playoffs.
The beast is alive and well!
It became known as Beastquake after raucous fans triggered seismic equipment.
That one was kind of serendipity that we discovered that there was a seismic signal when that happened on one of our regular stations that was across the street, actually.
Pacific Northwest Seismic Network Director Harold Tobin. He says they've set up 6 seismometers around the stadium for fun and for educational purposes. They'll be sharing the results online. Heather Bosch, KIRO News Radio.
And Hawk Alley is back open for business.
It's like an act of a football god.
Not divine intervention, but Seattle's Human Services Department. Utah Avenue in Soto had been popular for tailgating, but it's been clogged with tents and trash. City representatives tell KIRO 7 the area had been on their list for cleanup for quite some time. Kickoff 5 p.m. Saturday at Lumen Field. Remember the huge crowd that flocked to the frigid waters off Birch Bay in Whatcom County New Year's Day?
You go numb after about 30 seconds.
The feet started going numb, but the spirits were high.
They were trying to break the Guinness Book of World Records for biggest New Year's polar plunge. The results are in, and KIRO 7 reports they didn't make it. There were some technicalities. For example, organizers didn't get an accurate head count because some non-participants were in plunge zones at the start of the record attempt. Many participants didn't go deep enough. You have to be waist deep, at least for the record, to count. So they'll try again next year, maybe. It's 8:12. Time for a check on the weather. Seen some fog in spots this morning. Sunshine for the afternoon, though. Really nice stretch of January weather. 50 our high for today. Sunshine Friday as we wrap up the week. Blue Friday, a high of 51. And for the game day, Saturday, sunny and 52. Same deal on Sunday. And it looks like this pattern is going to stick with us right on through the first part of next week. We have a slight chance of seeing some rain on Wednesday. Right now in Seattle, mostly cloudy and 49. And it's 8:13, time for traffic. Once again, we do that every 10 minutes. Here's Sully.
And we have a new problem to tell you about. This one's on northbound 167 getting into Kent. Right around 277th, we've got a crash blocking the right lane that's just moved over to the right shoulder, actually. But that's why we're bumper to bumper out of Highway 18 up to Kent. And while we jump back up to about 35 minutes to make it from Auburn to Renton and an hour all the way from Puyallup. So behind schedule by about 10 minutes through that backup. Once you're through that, there's also a little slowing approaching 180th and on in. Renton to Bellevue's got about a 40-minute trip for you. Federal Way to Seattle running faster than normal, under an hour. And the braking there is past the north end of Boeing Field into downtown. Real show, again, as we've gotten used to, is coming out of the north end. Hour and a half trips, maybe hour and 35-minute trips to go from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. For I-5, you don't hit the brakes till you're at 175th and Shoreline, then you're grinding all the way into downtown. For 405, it's from Linwood down through Bothell. So again, looking at about the 25 to 30-minute variety in terms of our delays. Northbound I-5 through the construction zone at the Ship Canal Bridge. We hit the brakes around Mercer up to the Ship Canal Bridge. About a 10-minute delay for you guys. This report brought to you by Subaru of Puyallup. Confident winter driving starts at Subaru of Puyallup. Stress-free pricing at SubaruofPuyallup.com. Stress-free buying experience at Subaru of Puyallup, which is your stress-free dealership.
I'm their conduit, and I'm glad to do it.
Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Hey, oh, let's go.
Now, Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
Presented by Carter Subaru.
We went from stress-free to headbanging to the Ramones.
Yeah. It's a conduit.
A conduit. It's 8:15. So have you ever had a project where you ran into unexpected problems over and over again? Well, the city of Everett is dealing with a big one right now, and that has pushed a project months behind schedule. What are we talking about, Sully?
We're talking about the Edgewater Bridge. If you've ever driven between Everett and Mukilteo, it's the only real direct route. It just kind of hugs the cliff there, going all the way down towards the ferry dock. And the bridge was closed in the fall of 2024. That's because they were trying to replace the 57-year-old bridge over the ravine. And so what that did was cut off that direct access between those two cities. The bridge was supposed to be open in about a year, so sometime late last year. But the opening date was pushed to early this year, and now it's been pushed back to April. Months worth of delays. And, you know, we've talked a lot about some places where contractors have had problems, or we've had strikes, or we've had things that were, you know, kind of self-inflicted. This project has been plagued by Murphy's Law. Just about everything that could go wrong did. This is Dan Enrico, Everett's principal transportation engineer.
Unfortunately, you know, we ran into some timbers, some bad geology, and weather conditions that have kind of pushed us to beyond our original anticipated substantial completion date.
That's the 30,000-foot view of what happened. Everett City engineer Tom Hood starts by explaining about those unexplained wood timbers and concrete that Dan was talking about there, something that they didn't expect when they started digging, and it had nothing to do with the current bridge being replaced.
There was a timber bridge prior to that, which of course we didn't have any records of, and I believe, based on what we found, they demolished the old bridge and just left it in the ravine to get covered up. And of course, we found it during construction.
And why wouldn't you just take apart an old bridge and just kind of leave it there? And if you're watching on the YouTube live feed, we've got pictures that I took a video there going through the construction zone, and you get to look at what the bridge, what it looks like kind of right now. Now, one of the other issues, in addition to finding that unexpected structure under the water, is they had one of their cranes go down.
One of them actually broke down during construction, and that costed us, as you can imagine, a couple of weeks while parts were procured and repairs were done. So that was another one of those things that just set us back a little bit.
And then came the atmospheric rivers.
That rainfall actually overwhelmed our storm sewer system and sent a torrent of sheet flow of water down the ravine and took out much of the slope with it.
And some of the work that they had already done. So they had to take care of that to shore up the underside of that ravine. And, you know, you add that all up, and you're left with this lengthy delay. Not something that the 6,000 daily drivers didn't want to hear. It's something the neighbors on either side of the bridge didn't want to hear, and that's not lost on Hood.
Our first message is empathy with the neighbors that are affected by this. You know, the closer the people live to the bridge, the more affected they are, obviously, with the detour route and things like that. And so that is never lost on us.
Now, the good news is the work is now out of the ravine, and so the risk of new surprises is going down. As you can see on the video, if you're watching on YouTube, the bridge looks like it's okay. We're in pretty good shape because they've laid a bunch of work. They're getting really close. It looks like they're getting ready to pour some concrete. So I asked Enrico where we are exactly in the process.
All the girders are set. They are tying rebar and putting in the forms for pouring the deck. And within the next couple of weeks, we'll have a deck all the way across that bridge.
And then comes the concrete approaches. Weather is our only real concern going forward. It can be kind of fickle when it comes to laying concrete, letting it cure, things like that. They're anticipating that into their current schedule of having things open in April. Hood says they're working with the contractor, though, to pick up at the pace anywhere they can.
Once the bridge is, the deck is cured and the approach slabs are cured, the intent is to put down temporary stripe and open it to traffic, vehicular traffic at first. So that's goal number one.
Pedestrians and all the dog walkers who love to go back and forth over that bridge will have to wait a little longer than the cars to cross the new bridge. Just a reminder, a good one, that you never, ever know what you're going to find when you start digging in our state. Even when you drew test wells and things like that, they didn't find it. And everything that went wrong, you know, that could have, did. And that's why we're left with a 4 to 6 month delay here.
I have decided in watching your video that you posted and that was on YouTube that it is very good to be Sully because there are all these big signs that say road closed, danger, danger, bridge out, no trespassing. And there you go with your camera.
Well, the way I figure it is if the neighbors there, I was walking up to the neighbor's house that you could see the folks that are right there at the edge of the bridge.
Imagine?
Yeah, they have to go all the way. I forgot the amount of miles it adds, but you have to go all the way up to the Boeing Freeway, all the way up over the top, down into Mukilteo, and then back all the way. It's a pretty sizable backup.
I'm glad you get that access because it is really cool to see what goes into a huge project like this.
Yeah, and again, over a really a ravine that's really dangerous. You know, the bridge was old; it wasn't up to standards. Apparently, the other one wasn't either, so they just buried it there. So
weird.
yeah, if you think about it, that's how Seattle was formed, right? We just left our stuff here and built it out into Elliott Bay.
Yeah.
I guess that was the style at the time.
All right.
So, as we're onions on your belt.
Onion on your belt. Yes,
I am
believe.
wondering, Sully. So like. One thing that I love, my in-laws live along the Snoqualmie Valley, and a lot of the kind of bridges that go along there, there's a design element to them. Do we know, and is this a little too far in the future to know if there's going to be maybe an interesting design element or if this is going to be a very just kind of standard bridge?
Well, for this bridge, the thing that's really cool about this bridge is they're adding a lot more to it. It's going to be a lot wider than the last one, which will provide a lot better bike and pedestrian access to it. Because when I walked it originally, I mean, the path was probably, if it was 3 feet wide, the pedestrians, it wasn't very wide. So they're adding a bunch of other stuff to it to make it more accessible for everybody in the area, which is cool, which is what they do, what everybody really does these days when they're building new bridges. They add maybe a bike lane or room for bikes and then pedestrian access on either side. So that'll be really cool when it opens.
All right. And your video is up at mynorthwest.com?
Oh, certainly. And up in X and everywhere else you can find it.
Stand by. We'll get back to you for traffic here in just a moment. It's 8:21. Federal prosecutors have charged 20 people in an alleged point-shaving scheme involving dozens of college basketball players, according to an indictment. According to that indictment, players on more than 17 different NCAA Division I men's basketball teams fixed and attempted to fix more than 29 games. We get more from CBS News' Scott McFarlane in Washington, D.C.
This is a little different. This is point spread betting, which is, as old as sport itself. Not sure the NCAA wants to end that. But this mix of sports gambling, amateurs, or college athletes put together can be a dangerous stew, at least according to what's been charged today.
And one more sports note. FIFA says fans really want World Cup tickets. More than 500 million requests. The tournament, of course, is coming to the U.S., Mexico, and Canada this year. Seattle hosting 6 matches. Outside the host countries, most requests came from Germany, England, Brazil, and Spain. Tickets, nope, they're not cheap. They cost up to $8,680 each. After some backlash, FIFA will offer $60 tickets to national federations for fans who have attended past games. It's 8:23. That's time for traffic. We do that every 10 minutes on the threes. What's new, Sully?
Well, we've added the right lane being blocked again on northbound 167 as you come up out of the Auburn area into Kent. Right at 277th, there's a crash that involved a couple of different cars that was over on the right shoulder. Fire trucks now have shown up as well as the emergency personnel, and they blocked the right-hand lane. So we're back up to 35 minutes again from Auburn to Renton and an hour from Puyallup all the way up. And then Renton to Bellevue is about 40 minutes. The S-curves are active. Then you get a pretty decent break until you get up to about I-90. The Federal Way to Seattle Drive looking really good, except for the north end part past the West Seattle Bridge. We've got ourselves about a 55-minute trip for you guys. Coming down from the north end, we're continuing to see about an hour and 25-minute trip from Linwood to Seattle or Bellevue. That's our life going forward without the express lanes in the southbound direction. Also getting reports there might be a crash near Mercer, which is kind of contributing to that. 99 southbound also caught up in this as well as people are looking for ways into downtown. So plan on delays from Green Lake all the way into the city. Northbound I-5 as you work your way up towards the actual construction zone on the Ship Canal Bridge. Not too bad today. It's backing up to about Roanoke. So not all the way back to Mercer as it has been the first couple of days. Lake bridges are okay. This report brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Save $600 off windows, $1,500 off doors from Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Plus, enjoy 12 months same as cash financing. Don't wait to visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
Nice stretch of weather for January. We'll see sunshine by afternoon, 50 the high for today. Pretty much the same tomorrow in 51. Saturday, game day at Lumen Field, sunshine in 52. Same deal on Sunday and into the first part of next week. Right now it's cloudy and 49 in Seattle. And coming up, KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey is going to tell us how Seattle is getting ready for the biggest Seahawks game in nearly a decade. And I believe he's going to teach us how to yell most effectively for our team. Also, he has a tech talk coming up, how Microsoft is trying to be community conscious with their new AI developments. This is Seattle's Morning News.
2 wins away from the Super Bowl.
It's time to eat, boys.
The first obstacle, a hated rival.
Purdy has time. Throws to the middle. Intercepted.
Victim to some of the greatest playoff moments in Seahawks history.
Welcome to the dark side. Richard Sherman tips it. Whole city going up like it's our time.
Seahawks, 49ers.
All teed up.
The divisional round of the NFL playoffs.
You know how we do it. Better bring your hard hat when you come to Lumen.
Saturday night, kickoff at 5 on the home of the Seahawks. KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
What a good move I made. Let me tell you a quick story. I've done a whole bunch of races and a bunch of other stuff like that, and my left hip started bothering me about 5 years ago. And I go to the doctor, and he's like, you need a hip replacement. I was like, I'm 60. Yeah, we're going to ask you to wait a little while because we don't want you to wear the hip out. We want you and the hip to go into the grave at the same time. I said, what do you do about all this pain? Well, you could, aspirin, and you could continue to do this and that and, sleep with a pillow between your legs. I was like, no, I don't want to do this. Then I was talking to Bob Stelton over there at the sports department. So he went to Dr. Mark Wagner, and I think he had his hip done as well. So I go in there. I said to Dr. Wagner, can you fix my hip? Takes a look at the MRI. Yes. So I got the stem cell procedure. I'm telling you something. This is the best. If you've been thinking about, surgery for your knee, your wrist, your shoulder, or hip. No. Check out Dr. Mark Wagner and go to drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Hi, Ursula Royteen here. There's a reason I send so many people to Carter Subaru and why I am a repeat customer. They are Seattle's only Subaru dealership, and they have the largest selection in the state with over 700 Subarus in stock. Right now, get a 2025 Subaru Outback with 3.9% financing. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline or Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 1/31/26.
30 years ago, Davis Law Group was founded to be the best law firm for our clients and our community. Our core values are to win, help, and serve. It means our success is defined by the difference we make in our clients' lives and the impact we can have in our community. Not by giant settlement checks or shiny offices. Our mission to lift up the vulnerable extends beyond the courtroom to our charity partners, promoting safety, uplifting students, accident victims, foster youth, and the elderly. If you've been injured and want better results for your claim and for all of Washington, call Davis Law Group today.
When the new year hits, every business could use a little something to stay ahead. A lift, a jump start, an edge, or perhaps a boost. Like the all-new 5-year business boost from Comcast Business. It's the certainty of a price lock for 5 years on qualifying internet bundles. Plus, you'll have the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment, so your whole team can stay connected at a great rate. And to sweeten the deal, ask about a $500 prepaid card when you add 2 lines of mobile. It's the boost your business deserves. So sign up for the 5-year business boost and get a 5-year price lock on ultra-reliable Wi-Fi. Plus, ask about a $500 prepaid card. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 2/22/26, new customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees. Best Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Progressive's accident response can detect and send help when you need it most, after a major car accident. But other accidents, you're on your own. Like when you accidentally call your wife, Mom. When you accidentally say Happy Holidays on someone's birthday. When you accidentally wave at someone you thought was waving at you. We can't help with those accidents, but Progressive's accident response provides peace of mind after major car accidents. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Limited availability in California. Driver is responsible for emergency and towing charges not covered by the policy.
How do you stay humble when you're America's #1 wiper blade? That's what we're currently dealing with at Rain-X. Is it even possible to humble brag when you bully Mother Nature like we do? Do we sound too conceited if we keep repeating how Rain-X is the #1 brand of wiper blades in America? No, we'll take a lesson from our wipers and just keep doing our job with humility. As America's #1 wiper blade. Rain-X. Outsmart the elements.
Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision.
If you're over 50 and you've been diagnosed with a cataract, or your vision is changing as you're developing an early cataract, you could be a perfect candidate for K2 Vision RLE.
It's inevitable. At some point, typically in your 60s or 70s, you'll have a dysfunctional lens that eventually becomes a cataract. To restore your vision, you will someday need a procedure such as refractive lens exchange.
The question is, are you done with glasses? Do you want to spend your good, active years hassling with changing prescriptions and needing readers?
K2 Vision RLE can give you great vision now, permanently, and you'll never develop that cataract. The procedure is quick and painless, and our state-of-the-art custom lens technologies give highly predictable outcomes.
K2 Vision surgeons have performed nearly 100,000 procedures. We know when RLE is right for you.
Find out. Schedule a free Zoom consultation at k2visionrle.com.
K2 Vision RLE. No glasses, no contacts, no readers.
She's a gold and platinum selling icon, a modern-day Renaissance woman, an international treasure. Judy Collins brings her legendary voice to Jazz Alley, January 22nd through 25th. Get tickets now at jazzalley.com.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue,
Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 8:30. The clock is ticking. It's almost time. The Seahawks go head-to-head again with a spot in the NFC Championship game at stake. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here to break down what to expect and how to yell louder than you ever have before.
Yeah, that's right. So we have the loudest fans in the biz, right? We've got the loudest stadium in the world,
yes.
Lumen Field. But, you know, it can be louder. So years ago, I went to a professional voice coach, not for radio, but for actually to learn how to yell properly for Seahawks fans.
Story,
This is the last time they were going to the Super Bowl, and we did this story. So why not teach all of you? You all can, if you're driving to work, you can yell in your car. It's fine.
Sure.
This is going to be fantastic. So, Amanda, we're going to have you do the yelling, and
I probably should back away from the mic a little bit.
We will, and then we're gonna try to enhance your technique and see if we can get you even louder.
Okay.
So, you know, rule first, before you back away from the mic, what a lot of people do, first of all, warm up your voice before you really do this, folks. But
la 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 la.
There you go. What a lot of people do is when they talk, and I'm going to try to do it, they kind of close up their voice, you know, in their chest like this, and they talk on the radio, or they talk in public, or they do something, you know, or they yell at a Seahawks stadium. But what professionals do and what you have to do is really then open up your diaphragm like this and get that air moving. You see how my voice kind of changed there, but I'm still enunciating my words. So that's what we want to do when we yell. Same thing. All right. So now I want you to back up, and we're going to have you yell.
All right.
Kind of closed up, you know, not, you know, like someone might, and just give us like a go. It's third and long at Lumen Field, and you do what? Okay, pretty good. Pretty good. Now, according to we didn't warm up. So according to the voice coach, what we want to do instead is we want to pick a vowel, like an A. A sounds like hey, are get really loud, and especially for you guys listening, it's not hey. You want to get the higher octaves. Okay. Hey, that actually is louder and it projects further. So now go back from away from the mic.
Here I go.
And let's open up that diaphragm, pick that A sound, and really get that high octave. Let's see if we can get you louder than before.
Ready?
Yeah, that was awesome.
And I like doing a
that
little
nailed it.
Start up and then go down like.
That's good.
Do a little some of that.
I like that one. Yes, as long as you keep those same techniques, we could hear the difference between for you, Amanda.
Can you finish the show? Because now I can't talk.
Okay, yeah, we'll do it. But that was fantastic. So
I'll
keep
use
that
it
in
for the
mind.
game.
And, you know, and that creates not just earthquakes, but beastquakes. Of course, remember Marshawn Lynch back in 2011 against the Saints.
From right to left, turn and hand to Lynch, left side. Finds a little bit of a hole, keeps his legs moving. He's across the 40, midfield, 45. He's on the run. Lynch, 40, pushes him at 35. Look at him go. He's down to 20, 15. He could go. He is going to go. Touchdown, Seahawks.
Did you hear the crowd?
Oh, my word.
Getting even louder right there when he scored? I mean,
unbelievable.
Yeah, sometimes I think these stories are just excuses to play great calls. Hey, the Pacific Northwest Seismic Network Director Harold Tobin says they have now set up 6 seismometers around the stadium and inside the stadium to see if the loudness moves the needle. Saturday, just like they did during Marshawn's run. By the way, that was kind of an accident recording that earthquake.
That one was kind of just serendipity that we discovered that there was a seismic signal when that happened on one of our regular stations that was across the street, actually.
Yeah, and they're going to share the results online, which is really cool as well. So, all right, we got the voice technique. You in the car. I know you practice along. People were looking at you like, why are they yelling in the car?
It's going to be so loud Saturday now that you helped us.
Oh, my God, it's going to be so loud. I cannot wait. I mean, I'll be at home, but I'll yell anyway. So we're ready to go. What about the team, though? Well, you know, and I think our YouTube feed, and you can check this out on my X channel. Another AI. I asked them, you know, here's what, because linebacker Uchenna Nwosu said something to 710 Seattle Sports about this game to tell us that the team is ready. And I think this, what you're looking at on the YouTube feed, says it all. But here's Nwosu.
You know, I don't like the 49. I'm just straight up with it. Like, I don't like him. None of us like him. We shouldn't like them.
We shouldn't like them.
I think he hurt the guy's feelings.
He did.
Look at
Poor
your
guy.
picture.
Well, he's crying. and the makeup from
why
his
they
face
call
is
them
fading.
the whiners.
That's right, the 40 whiners.
He's missing his tree friend right now next to the Space Needle.
That's right. Last time we saw him, he was hugging a tree because he was scared to go up the Space Needle.
All right, you can see all these pictures on your X feed, right?
Yes, and kickoff at 5 p.m. Saturday. Remember, Saturday.
Cannot wait. You can hear all the action right here on KIRO News Radio. We need to get to traffic, and for that, here's Sully.
And we have cleared the crash again on northbound 167, heading up towards 277th and Kent. Still over on the right-hand side, not blocking the right lane, though, anymore. And we're looking at Auburn to Renton back under a half an hour and back under 50 minutes from Puyallup. Renton to Bellevue is about 40, so that's average. Federal Way to Seattle looks really good till you get up to the north end. All in all, it's 50 minutes, which is about 20 minutes faster than normal. Lake bridges are still okay. Coming down from the north end, we're getting better on 405. It's back down to an hour from Linwood. Still have an hour and 20 from Linwood into Seattle. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. Download the Seattle Sports app and stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams.
We're going to see partly sunny skies by afternoon. 50 our high for today. Friday tomorrow, sunshine and 51. For the weekend, both days, sunshine and highs into the low 50s. It's 49 and cloudy in Seattle right now.
Seattle's morning news. Always live, always connected. Stream, watch, subscribe, and share at mynorthwest.com.
It's 8:37. Today's Tech Talk. There are lots of concerns over the energy and resources required to continue developing AI technology. Microsoft is addressing those concerns, and we get back to KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey.
Before we start pointing fingers, let's be honest. We are all part of the problem. You, me, anyone who uses a computer, a tablet, or pulls out a phone for directions, a text, a post on X, a snap to friends, or a quick round of Subway Surfers, Roblox, or Candy Crush.
Sugar Crush. Tasty.
Yes, we are all fueling the AI revolution, which Microsoft President Brad Smith just announced is creating new challenges, new needs, and new technologies
that come together to build the AI infrastructure that will create the next foundation for American growth and prosperity.
However, these days, when it comes to building infrastructure like data centers, which are the physical backbone of the internet, modern computing, and AI, the rule for Microsoft is no longer what the late, great James Earl Jones said in the movie Field of Dreams: if you build it.
Oh, people will come, Ray. People will most definitely come.
Instead, Smith and Microsoft are launching a new national initiative to work with and better support the communities where they build, own, and operate data centers.
We call it our Community First AI Infrastructure Plan, and it has 5 pieces. It's designed to address electricity, water, jobs, taxes, and skills.
When it comes to jobs and skills, Microsoft says they'll now train more local residents to take over skilled labor jobs. And for taxes,
we will not go into a local community and ask them to create a local property tax reduction or abatement in order to attract a data center from Microsoft.
Which leaves the 2 biggest potential impacts created by the almost 12,000 data centers worldwide, 40% of which sit right here in the U.S. The Department of Energy projects by 2028, the nation's data centers will use up 580 terawatt hours, or 12% of all the electricity in the U.S. Microsoft has a message for communities, much like Uncle Ben to Peter Parker in Spider-Man.
Remember, with great power comes great responsibility.
So the tech giant is pledging to make sure their data centers do not increase electricity prices for communities by paying for substations and transmission wires themselves. And when it comes to water,
we will minimize our water use and we will replenish more of your water than we will use.
A Purdue University study says an average data center uses 300,000 gallons of water each and every day to keep it cool. Smith says that's why they're now committed to reducing their data center water use by 40% and be water positive by the end of the decade.
And that's what I call high-quality H2O.
For AI infrastructure, critics say tech companies need to raise the bar.
And here at Microsoft, we're focused first and foremost on raising it on ourselves. We believe in it because we've been part of it, because we've seen it and we've helped create it.
So Microsoft thinks they can get this done at every location where they have a data center, and they point to Quincy, Washington to illustrate that success story, because that's where they built their first data center 15 years ago. They've subsequently built 19 others there as well. But in the time they've been there, they've helped Quincy build a high school, a new medical center. Property tax revenue has tripled there in that area in the last 15 years, and people living below the poverty line in the Quincy area has been cut in half. Microsoft attributes that to the data center, but also helping the community get those jobs and sustain that community within that area.
They basically built a city.
Yeah,
right?
they did.
All right, thank you. It's 8:40. Sully, what's coming up in traffic?
Well, we're going to take a look at the slowing coming down from the shoreline area and to break it down for you next.
If you've been injured in a car accident, you have two choices: handle everything yourself or hire an experienced attorney. Go it alone, and you'll be on the phone with insurance adjusters, chasing medical records, fighting for lost wages, and trying to figure out what your case is really worth. Hire the right attorney, and they take all that off your plate so you can focus on getting better. Harold Carr Law Offices has a dedicated team of 48 people and more than 35 years of experience handling car accident cases right here in our community. Harold Carr Law Offices handles big cases and small ones while still treating their clients like family. Here's the difference they make. They save you time, reduce your stress, and get you significantly more money than you'd ever get on your own. Harold Carr Law Offices fights for you at no out-of-pocket cost to you. If you're in a car accident, call them right away. Visit carlaw.com. 2 R's in car. Car accident? Call CAR.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
Have you thought about how your finances should change in 2026? Well, my friends at WaFd Bank can help. Right, Brad?
Right, Dave. Set your financial goals and stick to them with free checking. No minimum balances or monthly maintenance fees to worry about. You also get spending tools to help you stay on top of your budget. Not only is WaFd Bank a best bank, we have more than 200 branches to serve you across 9 western states.
And tell me about this voice-activated banking I've been hearing about.
You can check your balance and make transfers between your WaFd accounts when your hands are full, which, let's face it, is probably most of the time. You'll also have access to free tools like person-to-person payments with Zelle, mobile check deposit, intuitive new debit card management tools to turn your card on and off, set spending notifications, and when those unfortunate times happen, submit fraud disputes right inside the WaFd mobile app.
And you could choose from those great-looking Seattle Kraken and Seattle Seawolves debit cards. So visit wafdbank.com to open your account today. Non-sufficient funds charges may apply. Member FDIC.
It's 8:43. Time once again for a check on traffic. We do that every 10 minutes. What's up, Sully?
Well, no real surprises out there. The heaviest drive continues to be coming out of the north end. For 405 drivers, you're going to hit it right there at the Linwood, right kind of where the express lanes begin. And you're going to be on them through Bothell, a little bit in Totem Lake. But the travel time from Linwood down to Bellevue is only an hour. It's only about 15 to 20 minutes slower than it should be total. For I-5, you're thinking, okay, this is great. I'm driving through Linwood, driving through Mount Lake Terrace. This is awesome. And then I hit the shoreline area right at 175th, and it's an all-stop the rest of the way down. Still about an hour and 15 from Linwood down into Seattle. Southbound 99 also caught up in this as well. Another heavy day for you guys from Green Lake down into South Lake Union. Lake City Way is really heavy at the south end part of that drive as you're trying to tie into I-5. Westbound 520, definitely seeing a lot more slowing than I-90 today. That's because you're driving right into the backup for the northbound construction there at the Ship Canal Bridge. If you're leaving the city and heading north, the backup today starts north of Mercer, so that's actually not too bad, and a delay of about 8 to 10 minutes, which is a couple of minutes faster maybe than you had anticipated. Looking at northbound I-5, I'm looking to see if there's a crash or a stall right by the West Seattle Bridge, because we kind of come to a stop there and then break free right after it. Still have about a 50-minute trip from Federal Way to Seattle. Valley Freeway about 55 minutes still. Rented to Bellevue's about 40. This report brought to you by Wilcox Farms. Fresh food comes from local farms. For healthier eggs with 3 times the omega-3s, choose Wilcox Omega-3 eggs at Costco, locally fresh since 1909.
Our forecast, it's going to be a nice day. Eventually sunshine for the afternoon hours and a high of 50. Overnight lows in the upper 30s for tomorrow as we wrap up the week. Sunshine and 51, and the weekend looks terrific. Both Saturday and Sunday. Highs will be in the low 50s with sunshine both days. Monday for the holiday, mostly sunny and 49. Right now in Seattle, it's cloudy and 49 degrees. And coming up, now that I know how to yell properly, it's all I want to talk about. The Seahawks playoff game inching closer. G. Scott is going to stop by and talk about some of the trash talking happening between the teams and why it's a good thing. That's coming up on Seattle's Morning News.
At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years. We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the roads you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included in every tire we sell. It's more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's all about you getting more from less. Stop by or book an appointment at leschwab.com.
Xfinity is the network you can rely on. Like a close friend who will give it to you straight. The friend who will tell you that new haircut, it's not great. Friends make sure friends get good haircuts. And Xfinity makes sure you get a good deal on Wi-Fi. Xfinity gives you reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi at our best price. Now through February 1st, get gig speed Wi-Fi for just $50 a month for 5 whole years. No strings, no commitments. Just super fast, reliable gig speed Wi-Fi with our best equipment and unlimited data included. Save yourself from questionable decisions and save over Verizon and AT&T. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Xfinity Internet powered by fiber and connected to premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
I'm here with Wes Jones of sellwithwes.com. And Wes, you were just telling me you think 2026 is going to be a rebound year for the housing market.
That's right. I think we're heading into the best real estate market of the past 4 years. And here's why. If you take a step back and look at the big picture, experts are anticipating a 15% increase in sales volume next year. Interest rates are at near 3-year lows and trending down, and home prices have held near all-time highs. There is a lot of pent-up demand. People have been sitting on the sidelines waiting for their time to jump into the market since 2022, and they need a place to buy.
So, hey, 2026 might be your year. If you're considering selling your home, if you're thinking about moving, but there was something that was just holding you back, now might be a great time. So do this. Go to sellwithwes.com. You can see your home's real value there with Wes's home value calculator. Then schedule an appointment by giving him a call. Sellwithwes.com. Sellwithwes.com. It really just is a better way to sell your home.
Right now, get a free furnace with the purchase of a premium heat pump and air cleaning package at CM Heating. Start today with an always free estimate. There's no beating CM Heating for heating, cooling, plumbing, or electrical. Go to cmheating.com.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales event going on right now through January 25th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
Seattle's morning news. Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime on mynorthwest.com.
It is 8:49. Joining us from the G and Ursula Show, which you can hear from 9 to noon. And, of course, you know him from the Reset podcast, available at mynorthwest.com. It's G. Scott.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. I just learned how to yell loudly for the Seahawks.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
What would you learn?
Luke helped me. I had to open my diaphragm and use an A sound.
Hey.
Yeah. So we're talking Hawks. We're going to keep talking Hawks because this huge game is only a couple of days away.
Yeah.
These two teams do not like each other. Listen to this. Juwan Jennings of the 49ers, when asked about playing the Seahawks again.
You guys just played Seattle a week ago, and now you're going back. So what are your thoughts on facing those guys?
Can't wait! Can't wait!
Okay, and Seahawks Uchenna Nwosu playing the 49ers.
You know, I don't like the 49ers. I'm just straight up with it. Like, I don't like him. None of us like him. We shouldn't like him.
You shouldn't like him. How do you feel about the trash talking?
It's real.
Right?
And here's what I love about it. And here's what I love about everything that's surrounding this week. You know, when these guys come out of college and they first come to a team, right? When they first come to the Seahawks, now we fans, we have this rivalry, this, if you will, sports hatred for the Niners. But when these guys get here, they don't have that hatred. It's just another game to them. So when they have been here, the Jackson Smith and Jigbas, the Devin Witherspoons, the Leonard Williams, now that they've been here year 3, some of them year 4, now, they can taste it. They can taste it. So what I love about this is this trash talk is not fake. Sometimes when these players get here and it's their rookie season and they're like, oh, yeah, so I guess I'm supposed to hate this team because the fans say so?
Yep.
I mean, even for these rookies, though, you played the 49ers the first game of the season, the first game for Nicky Memori. I guess he didn't play in that game. But then you play them in the last game of the season, and then you don't even have to have another game in between there. You're playing them again. So I feel like it's extra real this season, right?
The rivalry is not to say that it wasn't going on. It's like you being in the kitchen and you have something simmering on the stove, but then you got to turn up the heat to get that thing boiling. That's what's happening right now. This rivalry is boiling right now, Manda. This rivalry right now, I'm talking about people are talking cash, you know what, constantly. And what the beautiful thing is, this is what I love, and I want to tell you guys, it's not just the fans. These text messages, when I'm talking to players, hey, they heated too. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's another game. You don't want to get too hot and too cold. You want to do what you have been doing, and I think the Seahawks have everything on their side. I think they're playing at home.
And healthy.
I think the fan base is going to be absolutely nuts, both inside and outside of the stadium. I think that, like you just said, Manda, they're healthy, right? Because the Niners, hey, Juwan Jennings, it sounds good. I hear you at all that energy, but you got to still go out there and play the game.
Yeah.
That talk don't work. And they got Trent Williams, who their left tackle. He's dealing with a hamstring issue. And, Manda, his hamstring isn't like your hamstring. You know what I'm saying? That's a big hamstring. So
I thought you meant old and decrepit.
No. I mean, you're a smaller person. No, it's a big hamstring. And the next part of it is they have a lot to do when it comes to coming here, making sure Brock Purdy can be successful, because the last time they played, Manda, Brock Purdy wasn't so successful.
Yeah. All right, what are you thinking? It's only a couple days out now.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
Yeah, I feel really good. I do want to give, out of everything I just said, I still want to give respect to the rivalry. I want to give respect to the Niners and, of course, the Seahawks, because at the end of the day, the Niners are a very resilient team.
You don't get this far without being good.
Absolutely not. I have done a phenomenal job. Do I feel good about the Seahawks' chances? Yes, I do. And I feel good for really 3 reasons. 1, the Seahawks have the best defense in the NFL. 2, the Seahawks run the ball very well. And 3, Lumen Field is going to be rocking. You know what I'm saying? Like, would I be more nervous if this game weren't at Lumen Field? Yes, I would, but I feel better at home.
Good. All right.
Now, wait, how is this going to work? How are you talking to me, and then you're going to kick me out?
Well, I'm going to excuse you politely because I'm going to steal your hat. Because that is the coolest Seahawks hat I've ever. It's like velvet.
What is it, velvet?
That's awesome. Like your coat, too. All right, you may be excused. G and Ursula coming up 9 to noon. Right now, a check on traffic, Sully.
And we are still dealing with our daily grind coming down from the north end because of the loss of the southbound I-5 express lanes. We still have about an hour and 20-minute trip from Linwood into Seattle, but only an hour from Linwood to Bellevue. So that Linwood to Bellevue drive's running around 15 minutes behind schedule. The drive on I-5, 40 minutes behind schedule. So kind of a tale of two cities there. Looking at southbound 99 being very heavy as well. Northbound 99 northbound I-5, I should say, haven't been able to find the crash past the West Seattle Bridge, but it is still pretty thick there. But the good news is from Federal Way on up there, you really won't hit the brakes at all. Still 55 minutes from Federal Way to Seattle, 20 minutes faster than normal. Valley Freeway does have brake lights out of Auburn, a little bit at the north end, but a 50-minute trip from Puyallup to Renton's good. Renton to Bellevue is about 35. The Lake Bridges are in good shape, though 520 is heavy towards I-5 because you're driving into that backup on northbound 5 into the Ship Canal Bridge. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
And our forecast, we have seen some areas of fog this morning, but it's going to be a nice afternoon. Sunshine warming up to about 50. Friday, sunshine and 51, and it's going to be sunny right on through the big football weekend. Highs both Saturday and Sunday into the low 50s. Right now it's 49 and Seattle, and coming up, it's the G and Ursula Show here on KIRO News Radio. Thanks for being with us here on Seattle's Morning News.
Paid political announcement.
More than half of short-term rentals across Washington are booked by Washingtonians. Families traveling for their children's tournaments and games. Firefighters fighting wildfires. Traveling nurses providing critical care. Every day, short-term rentals are helping make travel more affordable. Legislators in Olympia are considering increasing taxes on short-term rentals. But with the cost of everything going up, we can't take another price increase. Keep travel affordable for us. Paid for by Airbnb helps our state thrive host pack.
At Skyline, senior living never sounded so good. The world feels bigger when you stay connected to ideas, to culture, to the things you love. We designed Skyline for today's older adults who celebrate life rooted in the city, not apart from it. At Seattle's only true life care community, premier music venues, museums, and culinary gems are just steps away. Urban senior living has an address. Discover it all at skylineseattle.org.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's danielnelsonmd.com.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. Northwest News.
Adrian here from Lake Washington Windows and Doors.
Winter might seem like an odd time to replace your windows, but now is when you get the best deals. Our Leak Armor installation team will keep your home warm and dry while installing beautiful, new energy-efficient windows. You'll feel the difference right away. Quieter rooms, lower energy bills, and a more comfortable home.
Right now, save $600 on windows and $1,500 on doors from Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Plus, enjoy 12 months same-as-cash financing. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com.
Out at the Wilcox family farm, our hens roam freely on fresh green pasture. But that means predators like coyotes and eagles are always nearby. That's where our team of Great Pyrenees help out. These gentle giants were born to protect, and they become a part of our family. Raised alongside the chickens from puppyhood. Our hens are raised humanely, our practices are organic, and our promise is simple. Fresh eggs straight from our farm to your table. Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
Guys, your New Year goals start now. Get limited time savings on our most popular treatments at Revive Men's Health. Visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com to see if you qualify to save hundreds.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma,